Geo offers you a choice. Geo Metro, Geo Storm, Geo Prism.
NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets.
Overcast skies and a chance of rain at Giant Stadium, where a sellout crowd of over 76,000 has gathered to see if the New York Jets can cool off the league's hottest team, the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Meadowlands. Tom Hammond and Hall of Famer Joe Namath. Joe, what can the Jets defense do to cool off this runaway train that is the no-huddle offense of the Bills?
Well, first of all, defensive coordinator Pete Carroll feels this is a great opportunity for his defense. He says they visualized how they're going to pull this off. They know how they want to win the game, and that is don't let Jim Kelly get deep. They're going to play a soft defense in the secondary, force Kelly to keep hitting the short stuff, test his patience. They feel that Kelly's not going to stay patient. He'll go downfield deep, and then they'll get the interception.
All right, so that is the game plan for the New York Jets. They're trying to do something that Pittsburgh and Miami have been unable to do. And talking about hitting a lottery, Jim Kelly has hit the jackpot in his first two games. The no-huddle offense has compiled over 1,100 yards in total offense, and Kelly with 6 touchdown passes against a very good Pittsburgh defense just a week ago. Well, the Bills with an overall lead in the series, and they have won the last 7 games, outscoring the Jets, as you see, 194-71. They've scored 30 or more points against the Jets 5 of the last 6 games. Marv Levy, the coach of the Buffalo Bills, didn't have much to complain about in that 52-34 win over the Steelers last week. He said maybe some poor tackling and poor kickoff coverage. That was about it.
Well, he complained about those penalties in the end zone, shaking hands a bit.
Bruce Kozla says his team will play hard regardless. They'll not be intimidated by the Buffalo Bills. And Kozla says this second season as the Jets coach, a little smoother. Jets to kick off. Aguiar with the kick to Fuller from the 9. Eddie Fuller hit hard, dropped about the 25-yard line, as Kelly comes on with that offensive lineup. And the offensive line of the Bills may be the best in football. Wolford and Hull went to the Pro Bowl after last season. How's this for offense? Kelly leads the NFL in passing. Thomas is tops in rushing and total yards. Reed, the #1 receiver. Now that no huddle with 3 wide receivers and a tight end is called K-gun after Killer McKellar, the tight end. Beebe comes in as the 3rd wideout. Breaks a couple of tackles, tripped up at about the 29-yard line by the strong safety, Brian Washington. Here's the Jet defense. Mercereau has been the steadiest member of that defensive line. Kyle Clifton has led the Jets in tackles 5 of his 7 NFL years. He's tops again. In the secondary, James Hasty, one of the best one-on-one cover men in the league. Now the New York Dime brings Odegaard and Brim in for 6 defensive backs replacing linebackers. Kelly's second down pass complete. Thurman Thomas, a Bills first down to the 38-yard line. Kyle Clifton in on the stop of Thurman Thomas.
Already a lot of room by the Jets defense, dropping back, giving Thomas the room out of the backfield in a big hole. The Jets are going to play soft, but they've got to handcuff Thomas.
First down for the Bills. Hand off to Thurman Thomas. 3rd straight time he's touched the ball. Great cutback move. He takes it for 11 to midfield before the rookie linebacker Mo Lewis can get him to the turf.
Big hole in the offensive line. Everyone's talking about the passing game. The running game of the Bills is awesome. Thomas jumping through a huge hole opened up by Kent Hall and his teammates. What an offensive line the Bills have.
Business as usual for the Bills. They're already at midfield, and Kelly goes for a touchdown. Flag down. Beebe can't handle it as Mike Brim finally caught up to knock the pass away. There is a penalty marker down.
Brim in pretty good position that time. Beebe's got a lot of speed to burn, and Brim may have gotten away with a little bump that time. It was awful close. Had the ball been a little shorter, I believe Beebe would have had it.
Bob McElwee has a hold against the Jets.
Let's take a look. You see if Brim will get his hands in there or on Beebe before the ball gets there. And
that could have been it, because you saw the flag go down before any contact was made. It was Mo Lewis, the linebacker, that was called for the hold. There's Lewis, the rookie from Georgia, third-round draft pick.
Yes, but I think they would have rather had that defensive interference penalty downfield. It looked like Brim did get away with an interference call.
Automatic first down for the Bills at the 45 of the Jets. No score, opening drive of the game. Throwing underneath to Andre Reed, and Reed has a first down to the 34 of the Jets. Lewis and Brim converge on him there as Kelly goes underneath to Reed with his first catch of the day.
A lot of room for Reed once again underneath. Now, what does this no-huddle offense do to the Jet defense and the other defenses? It never allows these defenses to do what they normally do. Regroup after a play. Get a little wind.
Behind Beebe, the intended receiver that time. First miscue of the day for Jim Kelly. We saw Andre Reed make that catch a moment ago. That's his 21st reception in just over 2 games and 1 drive. He's on an incredible pace, as is this entire Bill offense. 2nd and 10. Kelly wide open. Lofton. James Lofton stopped short of the 20-yard line, but it goes for 14 yards and another Bill first down. Welcome to those of you who have seen Detroit deny Don Shula his 300th career victory, 17-13. We're in the opening drive of the game here at Giant Stadium. Buffalo moving the ball with a first down, and it's intercepted. Interception by Kyle Clifton of the Jets. He picked off the Kelly pass intended for Don Beebe, and Kyle Clifton with the interception. And the Jets come up with a big defensive play, and Pete Carroll, the defensive coordinator, celebrating his 40th birthday today, said they had to make some big plays on defense, get some turnovers. Joe, they did just that.
Create the fumbles, make the interception. Kyle Clifton drops back, and Kelly just fires down the middle to Clifton. I don't see a receiver in sight, but this is what the Jets wanted to do. They want to force Kelly into errors, and Clifton did just that. They want to force Kelly to be patient, and the Jets defense did that.
First interception of the season for Clifton. As you see, 10 in his career. He had 3 last season. Now it's Ken O'Brien in the Jet offense with its first opportunity. And the handoff is to Freeman McNeil, the veteran running back. Takes it to the 25-yard line and a first down, getting the start today in place of Blair Thomas. Here is a look at that veteran center Jim Sweeney, who anchors the offensive line, which also features the road grader, 320-pound Dwayne White. Now, Ken O'Brien banged up against Seattle last week. Number 2 Jet passer of all time. A fellow named Namath is number 1. O'Brien still looking for his first TD pass of the season. Because of injuries, 11-year veteran McNeil, 9-year veteran Hector will start and look for the hawk on 3rd down. Mathis becomes the 3rd wide receiver. Handoff to McNeil. 2nd straight carry, not as productive. Tripped up and falls forward for maybe a yard. Here's the Buffalo defense. Bruce Smith still recovering from arthroscopic knee surgery, so the rookie Hansen gets a start. Bennett, Conlon, Talley all went to the Pro Bowl after last season. In the secondary, Odoms had an interception for a TD against Pittsburgh last week. Now, in the absence of Bruce Smith, the Bills will use their Sikkim defense much of the game. That's 2 down linemen and 5 linebackers.
And that's exactly what the Bills are in right now, folks. 2 down linemen and 5 terrific linebackers.
I guess their best athletes on the field, and Bryan downfield for Moore. Out of bounds, incomplete. Ken O'Brien put plenty of air under it. J.D. Williams was covering Rob Moore on the play, and though Moore made the catch, he was out of bounds.
Coming right at you, folks. You see Rob Moore has the step on Williams, but the ball is going to go off the playing field just a bit outside. Had O'Brien had the ball on the field, Moore would have had a big gainer for Coach Coslett. Excellent pass protection that time by the Jets' offensive line.
Would have been 53 yards had it been completed, but instead it brings up a 3rd and 8 from the Jet 27. No score in the game. 11:07 remaining in the opening quarter. The Bills driving on their first possession before a Jim Kelly interception by Kyle Clifton. Premature movement in the line. That'll be 5 yards against the Jets.
This killed the Jets last week.
Offense before the snap. 5 yards. Repeat third down.
A series of penalties last week really hurt Coach Koslitz's offense and defense, I might add. The lack of concentration on the field, the mental errors. Now, that time, Irv Eatman, number 75, may have moved prior to the snap. But you know why? Because he's got Cornelius Bennett over him, too. White also moved. These guys haven't played against the kind of defense the Bills have in there, so they're not going to be themselves this early.
3 wide set to the right. Now Toon goes in motion on 3rd and 13. O'Brien has a man wide open, and Moore turns and makes a great catch for a Jet first down to the 42-yard line. Turned up in front of Mark Kelso for a 20-yard gain.
I'll tell you, folks, Rob Moore has some quick hands. I want you to watch his head. When he turns around, that ball's on top of him. He'll get his hands up just in the nick of time, a little behind him. That's just an acrobatic, sensational catch, and the timing by O'Brien is excellent. Once again, the Jets' offensive line put some top-notch pass protection out there.
Rob Moore, the Jets' top receiver. That was his 9th catch of the season. Toon's in motion. First down play. Johnny Hector getting his first carry. Hector takes it to the 45-yard line, a gain of 3.
Hector's ready. Hey, he said he's going to take his Geritol about an hour before the game. You know, we saw him about an hour and a half. He said it wasn't time yet. His body feels great. He's enthusiastic about it and confident. If that offensive line can give Hector a few gaps, he still has plenty of quickness to jump through there for the good gainers.
O'Brien's been on Hector, calling him the old man all week. Hector older than O'Brien by 1 day. Moore is in motion. Again on the ground. This is McNeil. Tries to cut up and gets maybe 2 yards. Carlton Bailey, the linebacker, came over to make the hit and then got help from Williams in the secondary.
Well, I'll tell you what, Baxter's not in the game. Cornelius Bennett cuts across the line, and he's going to get chopped over here by Hector. A nice block at the knees, and you see him go down. That's a fine block by Hector. Baxter couldn't have done that one any better, but Cornelius Bennett had some help from his teammates. These 5 linebackers on the field. They're quick. They flow with the play.
Lodish in now for 3 down linemen on the 7th play of the drive. 3rd and 5. 3 wide set to the right. O'Brien looks that way and has it complete. Rob Moore out of bounds, short of the first down, forced out by Kirby Jackson.
That's what I don't understand. Rob Moore ran a pass route that time that was well short of the first down. Now, Moore in his second year certainly knows he wants to get the yardage for the first down, but you what? Well, you can't tell where he is until now. He's about 4 yards short of that first down, and that's not the kind of pass route you want to have when you need about 5 yards. You got to get the yardage first.
Louis Aguiar, as you see, has averaged over 40 yards a punt so far this season. Al Edwards deep for the Bills. Nice kick by Aguiar, hangs it up, and a fair catch called by Edwards. He fumbled it. There's a flag down. He was interfered with, trying to make that fair catch. And, Joe, that's another costly mental mistake by the New York Jets.
Well, that's it. I mean, these guys are hurting themselves. To stop the Bills, you're going to have to hope that the Bills shoot themselves in the foot, so to speak, that the Bills will stop themselves. And Coach Koslitz certainly hates to see his team commit the errors that take the momentum away from them.
Number 87 on the kicking team. Interference with the opportunity to make a fair catch. 15 yards, first down. Timeout.
Chris Burkett with a terrible error, costing Koslitz and the Jets 15 yards after Aguiar had hung it up for 39. The Bills' high-powered offense on the field when we return to Giant Stadium in a scoreless game.
Get on, get on, get on. Get on, excitement.
The all-new Pontiac Bonneville.
A new way to ride.
More than a work of art, an engineering masterpiece. With the stability of four-wheel independent suspension and the accuracy of anti-lock brakes. The art of excitement, the science of control. The all-new Pontiac Bonneville.
Get on your Pontiac. Get on excitement. What a feeling, feeling fresh. What a feeling, feeling close. A stronger hold to fix a dent. Fresh.
Fix-It Fresh has spring water freshness for a crisp, clean feeling, and it holds stronger than any other cream adhesive.
Feel it, feel it. A stronger hold with Fix-It Fresh.
A fresh feeling and stronger hold are two great reasons to fix it and forget it.
Feel it.
The one shot that made him a hero is back to make him a target.
I'm gonna do something far worse than kill you.
Denzel Washington, John Lithgow, Ice-T, Ricochet. Rated R. Starts Friday, October 4th.
Recently, this couple walked out of Little Caesars with extra pepperoni and extra cheese without paying for it. It's Lotsa, 2 pizzas with extra pepperoni and extra cheese for $8.98. It's a steal.
Lotsa.
Al Edwards of the Bills tries to field this punt on the right of the screen. Chris Burkett's going to bump Edwards in the leg right here. And that is a no-no, folks. You have to allow the receiver of a punt plenty of room, a yard at least. Give him a chance to catch the ball unharassed, and then you can attack him. There's Chris Burkett.
Former Bill, played for the Buffalo Bills previously, 1985 through 89. First down, Jim Kelly hands it off to Kenneth Davis, who has replaced Thurman Thomas for this drive. And Davis falls across the 30 to the 31, tackled by Marvin Washington and James Hasty. So Thurman Thomas, who has been suffering from a variety of injuries as you check the final scores around the league, week 3 in the early starting games. Thurman Thomas injured his heel, his groin. He's had nagging injuries, but Marv Levy told us yesterday he was still ready to go. Kelly has to scramble and almost threw another interception. Wow, Kyle Clifton almost had his second. It was right in his hands, and he dropped it as Andre Reed drew double coverage. Marvin Washington was there too.
Well, Lofton's open up at the top of the screen, but Kelly tries to stick it into Andre Reed, where Hasty and Clifton both had him sandwiched. A poor selection by Jim Kelly, but you know, folks, Jim Kelly doesn't make very many poor selections.
He's 3 for 6 so far. There's his 4th completion. It's to Davis, who dances ahead and is stopped well shy of the first down at the 36-yard line by Washington and Lewis. Pittsburgh bounces back after being blasted by Buffalo a week ago, and Tampa Bay squeaks out a victory over Green Bay if they can hold on. That's still in the 4th. Here are the late starting games. Atlanta strikes early at San Diego.
Okay, I just didn't believe Detroit could beat Coach Shula and his Miami Dolphins up there. Prior to that game, Detroit was giving up like 73% completions. How do you figure it, folks?
Chris Moore will punt to that man, Terrence Mathis of the Jets. Only the 4th punt of the season by Chris Moore. Mathis fumbled it. Still loose, and the Jets finally corral it. Wow, making a saving grab was Mike Grimm, who picked up Mathis' fumble. A 49-yard kick, and the Jets will take over. We're still scoreless.
Miller Lite would like to translate the sounds guys make when watching baseball.
The great Pilsner taste keeps you ahead of it all.
Can't beat that.
Miller Lite.
It's it.
And that's that.
Get on, get on, get on. Get on, excitement.
The all-new Pontiac Bonneville.
Feel the control.
Its optional anti-lock brakes, proof-tested to be ready when needed. Its airbag deployed countless times, though it's hoped you'll never see it. Redesigned, re-engineered, and ready to ride. The all-new Pontiac Bonneville.
Get on the Pontiac. Get on excitement.
Where do you want to be in 20 years?
Well, my father worked for the same company for 39 years. He got 2 weeks vacation, but we never traveled far. He was saving to put 3 kids through college. At 65, he retired. At 67, he died. How can I invest so that after my kids graduate, I can enjoy the second half of my life?
You can get there from here with Shearson Lehman Brothers.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We build excitement. by Little Caesars Pizza, where you always get 2 great pizzas for 1 low price. By Canon, America's #1 choice for copiers of uncompromising quality. And by Miller Lite. It's it, and that's that.
Tom Hammond and Joe Namath from Giant Stadium, scoreless in the first quarter. The Jets take over again deep in their own territory, this time from their 15. They started on the 14, their other possession. Play action pass. O'Brien, plenty of time. Toon breaks it off and takes the reception. Falls forward for a first down across the 25-yard line. Toon broke in front of J.D. Williams, and O'Brien with plenty of time had the ball right on target.
Plenty of time because of that play action pass. Toon's going to stop and come back, and he's going to be open for a while before James Williams can get there. But the play action pass, the faking of the run to Thomas is what set this up for Big Al Toon. Al Toon, of course, dropped 3 balls last week, so he's going to try and get over this. We don't see him drop very many.
You see his string going here at Giant Stadium. Moore is in motion. Quick pass O'Brien again to Toon. One-on-one on the outside, and Toon takes it for about 7 yards before he's pushed out of bounds. The fans want a flag for unnecessary roughness. I don't see one.
No, well, that was nothing there. Nate Odoms just did a good job of driving him out of bounds and then stopping. Odoms giving Toon plenty of room, and when Odoms finally does get the handle on Al Toon, so what? They're out of bounds. He's just going to pull him down. There was nothing wrong with that hit by Nate Odoms. Big interception he had last week, Tom. Back for a touchdown, huh?
Against the Pittsburgh Steelers in a controversial play that was reviewed for about 15 minutes before they finally gave the okay. Ken O'Brien out passing Jim Kelly so far. O'Brien's 4 of 5 for 40 yards. This is 2nd and 3. Blair Thomas, first carry, gets to the outside. First down out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Blair Thomas, bothered by a lower back injury, carries for 12 yards and a Jet first down. Thomas, the #1 rusher for the New York Jets. Told us yesterday his back felt pretty good. We don't know how long he can go.
Right out here, Leonard Smith kind of gets bitten in here and gives this corner to Thomas to get outside. Had Smith maintained his position outside, Thomas wouldn't have gotten to the corner.
O'Brien down the sideline. Burkett. And a saving play by Burkett because Mark Kelso, the free safety, had dead aim on an interception. And Burkett, the intended receiver, had to turn defensive back to prevent it from being picked off.
Well, you have to give Kelso some credit that time, and Burkett, too. Kelso read Ken O'Brien's eyes that time. Quarterback O'Brien went back, faked to his right to Chris Burkett, and then threw to his right. And hey, Kelso's back there watching all this action. Kelso gets over there and nearly makes a fine play, but credit has to be given to both of these players you're looking at. Burkett for breaking up the interception, and certainly for Kelso reading the play.
2nd and 10 for the New York Jets. Scoreless game, first quarter, 5:49 left. Johnny Hector. Pretty good run by Hector. Takes it into Bill territory. Ripped off about 6 yards on that carry before he was stopped by Leon Seals.
Let's see if there's any holding that goes on out here, folks. I understand there might be a little holding, but I think that this on the left of your screen, Williams kind of gets a good handle on Rob Moore and is just going to let him know that, hey, you can't be blocking me, man. He tries to throw Rob Moore aside, but Williams knows Moore's a big, strong receiver. You can't just manhandle Rob Moore.
Looked like they had the rodeo booked in here this Sunday, trying to throw him down. 3rd and 4 for the New York Jets. Nice spinning move by Johnny Hector will net the Jets another first down. Cornelius Bennett was coming in with a big rush from the outside that time, and the Jets keep it on the ground to Hector.
Hector, a 9-year running back. Watch how quickly he makes his cuts. Look at this. Look, is he running for daylight? Watch this little cut here. Huh? Hey, that is some good running. I don't care whether you're a rookie, 3rd year, 9th year, or what. Johnny Hector says, hey, I'll take my Geritol. I'll get out there and I'll give it my shot. I can still go. And obviously, he has the quickness to still elude tacklers.
Averaging 5 yards a carry so far. 3 carries, 15 yards. First down, New York, 42 of the Bills. Scoreless first quarter. O'Brien underneath to Toon. Wrapped up by Williams, but Al Toon takes it for about 9 yards, and O'Brien on target so far today. That's been his favorite target, Al Toon.
They ought to wear Al Toon out, throw him that ball about 30 times in a game. I would. He's a great big target, has speed that these defensive backs have to respect and give Toon plenty of room.
3 receptions, 26 yards here in the first quarter for Al Toon. Toon without the gloves today. No, he does have the gloves on. He told us that only in rainy conditions, humid conditions, would he not wear the gloves. He does have them on. Freeman McNeil bounces outside. He's got another first down to the 30-yard line before he's stopped by Cornelius Bennett. Welcome to those of you who have been watching the Cincinnati-Cleveland game. The Bengals still having trouble with that offense, and Cleveland wins 2 in a row, getting the win at home. We're in the first quarter here at Giant Stadium. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath. Buffalo and the Jets are scoreless, and surprisingly, it's been Bruce Coslet's Jets team that has carried the fight to the Buffalo Bills. Their offense has really been rolling. 9th play of the drive coming up for the Jets, and Walt Corey, the defensive coordinator of the Bills, has seen New York bite off some big chunks of yardage against his defensive unit. Freeman McNeil breaks free and takes it for a first down. If it stands, penalty markers on the field, 2 of them down. Carlton Bailey finally caught up to McNeil, but we'll check the markers. Bob McElwee will sort it out for us. 1 flag came down late.
Holding, we have 2 fouls. Holding number 30 offense. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 58 on the defense. Offsetting foul, replay the down.
Watch number 30, Baxter, on the left side of your screen. You may be able to detect the hold right here. Yes, goodness gracious, he's tackling. That's not good. Now, the penalty ends up being on number 58, Shane Conlon, but folks, he's not that kind of guy. Shane Conlon, he's a good, hard, tough football player. When he gets a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct or some extracurricular activity, I promise you it's by mistake.
Hey, his dad is a New York State trooper. He wouldn't allow that, would he? First down at the 30. New York Jets driving on the Bills. We're scoreless in the first quarter. Play action pass. O'Brien rolling out. Spots his tight end, Chris Dressel, who makes a diving catch just short of the 15-yard line. And the Jets continue to drive. Bob Costas with an update.
All right, Tom, here's how that game ended in Cleveland. Matt Stover from 45 yards out with, as you see, 9 seconds on the clock. He sneaks it inside the right upright. The Browns are 2-1. The Bengals are 0-3. Cleveland 14. Cincinnati 13. The Browns are at Giant Stadium to take on the Giants next Sunday.
And this Sunday, we are at Giant Stadium, and perhaps a surprise brewing here. The Jets, under O'Brien, have taken a drive over 7.5 minutes now. It started on their own 15. Blair Thomas, twisting and turning, stopped short of the 10-yard line by Leon Seals and Carlton Bailey. But the Jets' offense impressive so far, and this is just what they wanted, Joe, controlling the football. Moving now on 8 minutes, they've had the ball.
Certainly, Coach Coslet has his offense, keeping the ball away from Jim Kelly's vaunted offense. A major key in slowing down the Buffalo Bills.
Bruce Coslet and Walt Corey, the combatants on the sidelines at the moment. Corey trying to slow down the Jet offense. That's a twist. 11th play of the drive. Thomas in motion. O'Brien throws underneath. Hector can't make the one-handed grab. Bennett was covering Hector out of the backfield, and O'Brien now faces a 3rd down.
Well, Darryl Talley and Carlton Bailey right here put some pressure on O'Brien, so he had to unload that just a little before he wanted to. And Hector's not quite able to hold on to the ball. Pretty good pass under the circumstances, certainly by O'Brien, but I'd have to give credit that time to Carlton Bailey and Darryl Talley for forcing Costlet's quarterback to unload a little early.
Key play coming here. It's 3rd and 4 for the Jets from the Buffalo 11. scoreless game inside the final minute of the first quarter. O'Brien completes the pass. Rob Moore takes it for a Jet first down. And draped all over him.
Rob Moore, big target at 6'3", 205. Kirby Jackson tries to stay up with him and make the tackle short of the first down, but Moore just keeps fighting forward. Nice offensive series so far.
Moore has given the Jets a first down. It'll be first and goal. The football just shy of the Buffalo 5-yard line. Clock ticking. Inside 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Baxter, hit in his tracks, manages to drive forward for a couple of yards. He's to the 3. And the fans, 76,000 of them at Giant Stadium, appreciating the effort of the first quarter by the New York Jets. They're threatening the Bills' goal when we come back.
Get on, get on, get on, get on, excitement.
The Sport Coupes of Pontiac.
A new way to ride.
The 24-valve Grand Prix GTP with 210 horsepower. The V8 Thunder of Firebird Trans Am. And the V6 Kick of Sunbird GT. High style and high performance. Pontiac excitement most abundant.
Get on to Pontiac. Get on excitement.
It's stuck. You see? Yeah. Every channel. Light beer. Light beer.
Well, we're going to have to drain it. Grab anything that'll hold beer. Oh, and call some friends over.
Will you look at that?
Yeah, I'm looking. Miller Lite made beer better.
The great Pilsner taste keeps you ahead of it all.
Everybody likes that.
You don't say beer now, you say light.
The beer that beers become.
Miller Lite.
Is it?
And that's that.
This fall, the ratings war heats up for two of television's most seasoned veterans, and they've got the battle scars to prove it.
1979, tripped over a camera cable, 4 stitches.
Oh, well, 1982, tripped over a sleeping teamster, 5 stitches.
Feel this, 1977, bumped into a boom mic, sucker hasn't gone down yet.
1977, actress bit me.
You have her number?
Oh, yeah.
James Garner in Man of the People, Robert Guillaume in Pacific Station, tonight on NBC.
The Steelers. The Eagles. Mac is back. Next Sunday.
Welcome back to Giant Stadium as we get ready to start the second quarter. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath with you. And Joe, what a surprise. The Bills go on the road for the first time this season and not finding things quite as hospitable as Rich Stadium. Who would have thought that the Jets could control the football as they have?
I don't think anyone would have thought that. Right now, the Bills may be going through an emotional letdown from the first 2 games with Miami and Pittsburgh. They know they're a much better football team at this point, but they have to get out there and prove it. For the Jets, I'm impressed with that offensive line of theirs. They're opening holes in the middle, and they're pass protecting beautifully for Ken O'Brien.
The Jets have had problems getting in the end zone from this point, though, and they've got to finish the task here. Running play, Johnny Hector to the 1. The Bills' vaunted no-huddle offense has been outgained by Coslet's unit so far, 124 to 54.
Yeah, but you know what's important? It's important that you do something with all these statistics. You put some points on the board. The Bills right now, they're not shaking in their boots. The time of possession is certainly awkward and certainly one-handed, but the Bills are still a confident bunch. But this kind of a drive does a whole lot for an offensive team's confidence, especially the Jets.
3rd and goal from the 1. McNeil and Hector in the backfield. McNeil, touchdown.
You got to think Coach Levy doesn't like what's going on. Freeman McNeil following the blocking of Trevor Maddich, who's in there for the injured Mark Boyer, gets it into the end zone, and we do have a surprise on our hands, at least this far.
And the veteran Pat Leahy, 40 years old, the oldest player in the NFL, on to attempt the extra point. And it is good. A beautiful drive by the New York Jets, 85 yards, 15 plays in over 8 minutes, with Freeman McNeil taking it in from 1 yard out, and the Jets on top of the Bills, 7-0.
One day, a few thousand birds decide they don't like people. Really don't like people. The people try to fight back. But eventually, the birds win.
The difference between watching a movie on an ordinary television and watching it on a Mitsubishi home theater system is the difference between hearing about it and being there.
Some men would rather live their lives sheltered in the harbor, and some would rather sail into life with the unmistakable scent of Old Spice. Clean, true, and classic. Old Spice, one of the legends of the sea.
If your sporty car doesn't feel so sporty anymore, you need a change. By the team, the B.F. Goodrich Tire Team. They'll put on B.F. Goodrich TA Performance tires. Tires designed just for your sporty car. It's a whole new level of performance. Feel the difference. See your B.F. Goodrich Tire Team if they don't see you first.
The Dream Team. The world's greatest basketball players. Their mission, to bring home the Olympic gold.
Listen, get in here!
Who will be the chosen few? Find out next Saturday, following Notre Dame football.
New York Jets bounce out to a 7-0 lead, going full throttle on the Bills. An 8-minute drive that covered 85 yards. Ball control at its finest. Aguiar's kick is short, taken at the 14 by Eddie Fuller. Fuller bounces away from a couple of tacklers and is taken down finally at the 28-yard line. Well, Bruce Coslett says his team was not intimidated by the unbeaten AFC champion Bills. Here's the way he looked as McNeil took it in from a yard out to cap that 85-yard drive. We'll return to the Meadowlands in a moment.
Once again, Buick is raising the banner for quality in America. Introducing the 1992 LeSabre with a higher level of power, safety, security, and convenience. This new LeSabre is going to be one tough act to follow. LeSabre for 1992 from Buick.
Domino's just what you're into. Domino's just where you're at. Nobody knows like Domino's.
Domino's Pizza doesn't make your pizza until you make your call and delivers in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed.
Nobody knows like Domino's.
Domino's Pepperoni Pizza Feast with extra pepperoni and cheese. Now a medium's just $8.99 or two for $12.99.
Nobody knows like Domino's. How you like pizza at home.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call Domino's Pizza right now, and you'll be enjoying a hot, delicious pizza during halftime.
Well, the last scoring play, a beautiful double-team block right here by Trevor Maddich and Jeff Criswell, and Johnny Hector kicks out for Freeman McNeil before linebacker Carlton Bailey can get there. Look at that double team, and then McNeil just gets a piece of his man, and of course McNeil does the rest.
The Bills have had trouble stopping the run, and a rushing touchdown they give up, and have given up 59 yards rushing to the Jets already. Now it's Kelly's turn. Pressure on him. He steps up and delivers a strike to McKellar, and Keith McKellar takes it for 11 yards to the Bill 40 before he's stopped by Mo Lewis and Brian Washington. Pressure on Kelly, but he stepped up and delivered.
The linebacker was covering McKellar that time. McKellar made a good press downfield, then came back, and Kelly finally found the open man.
Kelly, of course, calling his own plays. Hands to Thurman Thomas, got through a narrow hole and set sail. Great cutback, and he ran into his own man, Andre Reed, and that slowed Thurman Thomas down, or he might have been gone. As it was, he covered 21 yards before Bobby Houston caught up.
On the right side of your screen, just some good blocking out there. A nice hole on the inside created by Davis, the right guard. And then, of course, Mr. Thomas can do the rest. The pursuit of the Jets fortunately got there for the Jets.
So it only takes a couple of plays for the Bills to be into Jet territory. Thomas stopped that time in his tracks by Bobby Houston. Houston, the fastest of the Jet linebackers, a Plan B free agent from Atlanta, out of North Carolina State, as you see the final scores on our Fram 10-minute ticker. These are all the early starting games. San Francisco used to be the best road team in the league. They've lost 2 on the road now. They lost here at Giants Stadium to New York Giants. And the late starting games. Jim Kelly, Thomas wide open out of the backfield. Inside the 35-yard line, tripped up by Mike Brim. Thurman Thomas, the number 3 receiver on this Bills team. That was his 13th reception of the season, and he leads the NFL not only in rushing, but in all-purpose yards, just as he did a year ago. 5 wide receivers now on this third down play. Kelly throws it behind his intended receiver, Keith McKellar. The Bills, Joe, noticeably not as sharp as they have been in their first 2 games.
You know, one thing I think is hurting the Bills today, they're used to having those 80,000 people up at Rich Stadium, certainly the last 2 weeks, to really fire them up. The Bills have to be a little bit flat. They've come off of 2 big games against Miami and Pittsburgh. All the enthusiasm and the fireworks that this offense created up at Rich Stadium. Today, they don't have their crowd with them, and I promise you, that crowd pulling with you, pulling for the team, fires you up, and you play better.
52-yarder by Scott Norwood. It would be the longest of his career. And it's good. Scott Norwood, 52 yards, the longest field goal of his career, and it's now a 7-3 game.
Is there something wrong? I mean, you have this strange look on your face. What do I need to do? Brush more? Get another toothpaste? What?
Tartar Control Crest helps stop tartar where it starts. It penetrates plaque before it hardens for easier cleanings, and more dentists recommend it.
You're smiling. Does that mean less tartar?
Tartar Control Crest. The dentist's choice is the easy choice.
Well, aren't you going to congratulate me?
Once again, Buick is raising the banner for quality in America. Introducing the 1992 LeSabre. With a higher level of power, safety, security, and convenience. This new LeSabre is going to be one tough act to follow. LeSabre for 1992 from Buick.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. By Coors Light, the Silver Bullet is the right beer now. By Hertz, we never forget who made us #1. We're Hertz, we're America's wheels. And by Bic Men Shavers, there's a Bic for every beard.
Tom Allen and Joe Namath at Giant Stadium. Brad Daloiso just signed this week for the Bills with his kickoff, and he kicks it out of the end zone. That is what Marv Levy was looking for. Scott Norwood had been kicking short. In fact, Pittsburgh a week ago averaged beginning drives on their own 41-yard line. So the Bills signed a kicker, Brad Daloiso, who had been cut this week by Atlanta after missing a 26-yard field goal, and Daloiso does what he's supposed to. He kicks it out of the end zone. Now, Norwood had to live all the offseason with that missed field goal in the Super Bowl and was in a slump to start this season. How's he feel about a career-best 52-yarder? That says it all. There's Norwood on the sideline and replaced in the kickoff department now. We asked Marv Levy about signing a guy just for kickoffs. He said, well, you sign a punter, don't you, just a punt, as McNeil carries for the Jets. And he said, we punted 3 times this season. We've kicked off 15. Made sense to us.
A good surge by the offensive line. Dave Cadigan in there at left guard for the Jets really drove forward. Freeman McNeil followed right behind him. The Jets now also have Brett Miller in at right tackle, spelling Irv Peck. Now watch this. Watch. You see the line fire out. Now you lose the line. That's because they're downfield. Look at that surge by the Jet offensive line.
And they do have some fresh legs in there. Miller spelling Eatman. Those two split time usually at the right tackle spots. McNeil, Freeman McNeil, the Jets' all-time leading rusher, who had 7,600 yards for his career, and he has played well in the first quarter plus of this game.
This is what Freeman McNeil sees. Now, where do I go? Find that hole. He finds that little crack or crevice and gets through there.
McNeil, the #1 rusher in the NFL back in 1982, in his 11th season, 31 yards on the ground today. First down for the Jets from their own 31. They lead Buffalo 7-3. 10:40 remaining in the first half. O'Brien deep. Moore. Got it.
Rob Moore, O'Brien kept that one on the field for him. James Williams, number 31, tries to keep up with the speedy Moore. But the speed to go with that size is too much for Williams, and this time O'Brien kept the pass on the field.
53 yards. Rob Moore with his 4th catch of the day. The Jets eschew the ball control that time and go for the bomb. Moore gives them a first down at the Bills' 16. Blair Thomas. Not much there. Thomas drew a crowd, and Cornelius Bennett, who plays in the center of that 5-linebacker defensive set, whose responsibility is to go to the football. He did that then, and he is one of the best at that with that great quickness.
Yeah, they call it the Sick'em defense. They want Bennett to go after the ball wherever it goes. Now, the Bills will line Bennett up in a 3-point stance from time to time on a down position to rush the passer. But basically, they have him in the middle. They want him to follow the football and attack.
6 out of 8 times inside the 20, the Jets have come away with points, including a touchdown on the first on the goal line 1-yard situation earlier in this game. Ryan scrambles and dumps it to Baxter. Brad Baxter, good leg drive. He takes it inside the 10, and a flag goes flying. Cornelius Bennett wrapped up the legs of Brad Baxter, but couldn't stop that forward momentum. Against the Bills. Nope. Against the Jets. Bob McElwee signaled the wrong way.
Well, maybe it's one each way. I don't know. They haven't settled on that yet.
Could be.
If it's against the Jets.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. 69. Offense. 15 yards. Repeat. Second down.
Well, Jeff Criswell gets unnecessary roughness. Once again, this reflects back to last week. Watch 69 get in there late. That's just a little too late with the headgear and a spearing type move, and that is a no-no. This is what the Jets did last week. They hurt themselves with the penalties and the blunders, and Koslet just cannot do it for the guys. He said, hey, the players have to win out there. He said, I can't stop them from making penalties. They have to stop those penalties themselves.
So now it's 2nd and 19 for O'Brien, who's hit 8 of his first 11. Out of his hand and incomplete. I don't know if his arm was hit as it came forward, but the ball just popped out of his hand.
Well, it was going forward. That's why the referee, I guess, blew the whistle. Let's watch and see if you folks can tell at home. Was his arm, in fact, going forward here? Good pressure by Darryl Talley. Well, I don't think he's underrated these days. I think the ball just slipped out of his hand that time.
Looked like it. Talley had a hand on the other shoulder, but it is an incomplete forward pass, and O'Brien now 8 of 12, 119 yards here in the first half. And they're reviewing the play. It was ruled an incomplete pass, and I don't see any problem with that call. But they are reviewing it.
But I don't know what they can review here. What if they say, all right, it wasn't an incomplete pass? I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to say, uh-oh. Well, they're going to start the play over. Coach Levy wants to know, too.
The Jets did cover it if it's ruled a fumble.
Sure, well, let's take another look at it, folks. Maybe you can tell again. O'Brien just looked like he appeared to lose control of the ball. On the right, Darryl Talley will get in there quickly, but you see the ball slipped right out of his hand. Now, was the ball ever going forward? I don't know, but the Jets end up... I don't think anyone ended up falling on the ball here. But watch it in normal speed, and you see what the referee has a problem with the deciding. Well, his arm was going forward for sure. The ball, I don't know whether it ever got going forward or not, but hey, what are they going to do? They've got to give the ball to the Jets anyway.
Marv Levy wants an explanation. Well,
I don't blame him.
Norm Kragseth, the replay official, is taking a long look. And Bruce Koslet wonders, you know, that 2-minute limit of making a decision is somewhat of a joke. Well, we did see, what, a 15-minute look last week, didn't we?
You see, the ball was recovered after the whistle was blown. The referee blew the whistle. You saw the players standing around and the ball loose, and then the whistle was blown before it was recovered. So I can't imagine who Bob McElwee, the referee, would give the ball to other than the Jets. This is the kind of thing you'd hate to see as an offensive player. When you have your offense going some tempo and rhythm working for you, you hate to see this long kind of delay. It disrupts your rhythm, and you just don't feel good about it. Let's take a look at it one more time, folks. His arm, O'Brien's arm, is definitely coming forward. Now, I don't know that the ball ever got headed forward, but O'Brien loses the ball on his own as Darryl Talley gets around there just a hair late.
We have a reversal. The play is ruled fumble. The replay is looking for the proper spot.
I want to see the proper spot as well as who recovered it. Let's see where they put it. You folks check it out. We're going to run this play through, see the proper spot, and I want to see whose ball it is. A fumble. I don't believe the arm was in the throwing motion. Okay, it slipped out of his hands. It's going to be a fumble. Now watch McNeil stand around. Baxter standing around. That's because the whistle had been blown, we assume.
Well, that could be the spot if they spot it right there.
I still haven't seen who picked up the football yet. The whistle blew before anyone picked the ball up. That's why I cannot imagine the ball going over to the Bills. Folks, watch it. You see the ball right there bouncing around. The whistle's blowing. There's McAfee on the right blowing the whistle. The ball has not been picked up. Look at the right of the screen. McAfee has blown the whistle. The play is dead. You folks look over here. This official's head is down. His arms have waved, and here's the ball still sitting on the ground. Now, if the whistle's blowing, the play is history.
No one recovered, as you said from the outset.
That's right. The play was blown dead by the referee.
We have a reversal. The play is ruled fumble. The Jets will get the ball at the 28-yard line is where the whistle was blown. The down will count. The down will count.
Okay, we got that clear. That's exactly right, Bruce. That's exactly right. Oh, boy.
All right, back to football now. 3rd and 22 for the Jets. They're at the 28-yard line of the Bills. 4 wide receivers in the game. Moore, Mathis, Toon, and Burkett. O'Brien had room to scramble if he wanted. Got the pass away short of the first down. He had a long way to run, and so he sent it in the air to Moore, who made the catch for 13 yards, but well short of first down yardage, as we check our Fram 10-minute ticker on the late games.
13-yard gain.
Boy, the Chargers are still struggling, winless, and trailing Atlanta by 10 at home.
And Indianapolis, their head coach, Ron Meyer, has heard the rumors about his job being in jeopardy. If they go 0-3, you never know what's going to happen. A head football coach's job is always a little shaky.
Leahy with that great string here, trying a 32-yard field goal. And he nailed it. And for Pat Leahy, that is... and scoring standings for the National Football League. They'll stop the game and give him the football as Pat Leahy becomes the 4th leading scorer all time in the National Football League. And he has the Jets again ahead by 7. It's 10-3, New York.
I wear the pump cross trainer because I like a secure fit. Life is short. Play hard. Reebok.
How would you like a new car warranty so complete? It covers your car from bumper to bumper. Every nut, every bolt, every part, with no deductible for 3 years or 36,000 miles. We thought so. That's why it covers the Chevy Lumina and every other Chevy we offer. The cars more people depend on.
That's today's Chevrolet. If your sporty car doesn't feel so sporty anymore, you need a change. To BF Goodrich TA tires, put on a set and feel a whole new level of performance.
I'm a big man.
Why do so many men stick with Bic?
I'm a big man.
Because there's a Bic for every beard. Regular, sensitive, metal.
Yeah, I'm a big man.
I'm a big man.
Pat Leahy, Bruce Coslett said he'll be pretty good if he ever grows up. He's 40 years old, one of your former teammates, Joe.
Oh, yes, his first game with us is when we beat the Giants in the elbow in a sudden death game back in '74, I believe.
Fuller takes Aguiar's kickoff and returns it to the 27-yard line. Pat Leahy, I'm sorry to say this, but he looks 40 years old.
I don't know whether Pat will appreciate that.
I imagine he's heard that a time or two. Meanwhile, we have a Buffalo Bill injured on that kickoff return.
17 yards on return.
And while they tend to that injury, we'll try to identify the injured Bill for you when we come back with the Jets leading Buffalo 10-3.
Everybody's different. Different looks, different tastes, different lifestyles. That's why Geo offers you a choice. Geo Metro, Geo Storm, Geo Prism, and Geo Tracker. So pick your favorite and get to know Geo. Right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Getting to know you. Diamond knows just what you're into. Diamond knows just where you're at. Nobody knows like Diamond knows.
Domino's Pizza doesn't make your pizza until you make your call and delivers in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed.
Nobody knows like Diamond knows.
Domino's Pepperoni Pizza Feast with extra pepperoni and cheese. Now a medium's just $8.99 or 2 for $12.99.
Nobody knows like Diamond knows. How you like pizza at home.
The pride and tradition of Notre Dame football is here on NBC. Next Saturday, quarterback Rick Meyer and the explosive Irish attack take on Michigan State and Heisman Trophy candidate Tico Duckett. It's Holtz versus Perlis, the Irish versus the Spartans. Notre Dame football is home on NBC.
The injured Buffalo player, Mitch Farad, looked like he injured his right knee, which already had a brace affixed to it. And a tough week for Mitch. His father, Paul, injured in an accident earlier in the week. Here's the give to Thurman Thomas. There's a penalty marker down as Thomas is tackled at the 31-yard line.
You know, I talked to Farad before the game, and he was concerned about his father, Paul, back in Kapaning, Pennsylvania. He said, "Hey, Dad, we're pulling for you." His father had a severe concussion and a compound fracture, and now I know his father.
Number 67, offense. 10 yards, repeat first down.
I know Mitch's father, Paul, is concerned that his son has hurt that right knee again. One of the players rode up against it. Farad's a tough guy. They're sizing this thing up. Well, you know, those knee joints just were not designed to be bent sideways.
You should know as well.
Awful thing.
You should know better than anybody. Farad is the man that used to paint his face in the Dr. Death that the NFL has banned. He had his Harley Davidson parked at the stadium when we were in Buffalo last week. Kelly at the 5-yard line by Jeff Loggeman.
Good team defense by the Jets. The Jets coverage people are covering those receivers. Kelly has time. Look, Jim's shopping around. He's trying to find somebody. And then Loggeman comes from the outside. That was good pass protection by the Bills, but the Jets had excellent coverage downfield. Now they stop Thomas on the run.
Brian Washington tackles Thurman Thomas. And it'll bring up third and about 33 for the Buffalo Bills after that Loggeman sack all the way back to the 5. Again on the ground to Thurman Thomas. Not much there. Got only a couple of yards. Dennis Byrd from that defensive line, number 90, led the charge for a fired-up Jets defense.
You folks that are watching this game at home, look at these fans. That's the way the Bills fans get fired up. It lifts your team. It gives you that enthusiasm. The Bills are a little flat right now, and the Jets are sky high.
Fourth down to punt from his own end zone, Chris Moore. First one was a good one. Terrence Mathis deep for the Jets. Good high kick, but short. Mathis bumped by his own man, and the ball bounces out of bounds. Mathis colliding with a teammate after a 41-yard kick. Grimm was the man that got in the way. Well, next Sunday, NBC brings you more great NFL action beginning at 12:30 Eastern Time with NFL Live. Then some of you will see the man who made the Giants defense feared around the league, Bill Belichick of the Cleveland Browns, to come in to play the New York Giants, and the Browns a winner against the Bengals today. Others will see the Bills against the Bucks, the Oilers against the Patriots, or other regional action. Check your local listings. NFL football next Sunday here on NBC. The New York Jets, time of possession, number of plays, dominating the first half. They lead by 7, 6:09 remaining second quarter. Johnny Hector. Hector in his 9th year out of Texas A&M. Again with a first down chunk of yardage that amounts to about 8 yards. Shane Conlon on the tackle.
The Bills, Tom, have gone back to 3 down defensive linemen here to try and stop the Jets. They're going back to their regular defense. The Jets still get an excellent serve by their offensive line. I'm sure defensive coordinator Walt Corey has got to be concerned.
Mitch Farrat out for the game after banging up his knee earlier. Meanwhile, 2nd and 2 for O'Brien and the Jets. Play action pass. O'Brien hit as he released it. Thomas with the catch, and it will be a Jet first down. Cornelius Bennett, again, that freelancer in the middle of the defense, although they've gone to the 3 down lineman. There he is.
Check those eyes out, folks. He's checking things out. He's reading the quarterback. He's reading Thomas. He's watching what O'Brien is looking at, and then he attacks to make the play, but not before Thomas is able to pick up the first down.
Ken O'Brien off to a great start in the first half. He's hit 11 of his first 15 passes, 143 yards. Jets with a first down in Bill territory at the 43. And a Bill jumped offside. The rookie Hansen, second-round draft choice out of North Dakota State, was drawn off.
Before the snap, 5 yards, repeat first down.
Drawn off by the tight end, Chris Dressel.
Well, the tight end is allowed to reset. Now, I don't know that this really should be called on Dressel because he is in a 3-point stance. He is on the end of the line of scrimmage. He's an eligible receiver. He's allowed to shift, folks. He's not allowed to show the play's beginning or simulate the beginning of a play, but I think that was a bad call.
Makes it 1st and 15. Blair Thomas, nothing there. He stopped perhaps for a loss by Leon Seals. Let's go to Bob Costas for an update.
At the Coliseum in L.A., Tom, the Raiders jump in front of the Colts 10-0. Jay Schrader hitting swerving Mervyn Fernandez for this 16-yard touchdown. More bad news for the 0-2 Colts. They're trying to rebuild that offensive line to protect Jeff George, and their center, Ray Donaldson, goes out with a broken left leg. Tom?
All right, it's been a rough season so far, but the normally slow-starting Colts, who are slower than usual. And Troy Taylor, the quarterback of the Jets now in his 2nd year out of California, has replaced O'Brien. Play action pass, and Taylor has to scramble, dumps it off short to Hector, and he will be stopped for a loss on the play. What was going on there, Joe, as they brought in Troy Taylor, who did have a 51-yard touchdown pass to Rob Moore last week?
Well, the play prior to the last running play, Darryl Talley threw O'Brien to the ground. He was able to get back there and make contact with O'Brien after he had let the ball go. Just let it go, I might add. So I believe that's the play that O'Brien got roughed up on, the one that Darryl Talley got to him.
Well, O'Brien is a tough quarterback. Coming into today's game, he had played in 100 games and been sacked 300 times in those 100 games. He is a tough guy. He'll bounce back, as you see him working his left arm, it appears. Freeman McNeil with a little burst takes it to the 41-yard line. It'll be 4th down for the Jets.
You know, you run a draw play in that situation because your quarterback, Troy Taylor's not quite ready, not quite warmed up. Bruce Costlett loves his field position, and he did not want to risk losing that field position, hoping that they could make it on a draw play.
And so it will be Louis Aguiar. Aguiar last December won a punting contest at the halftime of a San Francisco 49ers game. Some scouts for the World League of American Football remembered that. Barcelona drafted him, and he played in Barcelona this last WLAF season. In fact, his mother of Spanish descent, so it worked out great for Aguiar. The only problem was he couldn't speak Spanish. They kept looking for him to do it, and he couldn't do it, and he gets it out of bounds. No, it's going to be ruled a touchback. I thought it was going to be out at the 1, but they say touchback. It'll come out to the 20. Still a 41-yard kick by Louis Aguiar.
The ball just hits and bounces across the goal line, breaks the plane of the end zone, and folks, there's an upset maybe in the making.
In financial matters, as in life, everybody's different. Different needs, different goals. The Principal Financial Group understands. Our financial services are as unique and individual as you are. Personalized solutions that offer each customer an advantage. That's the Principal Edge. It's made us one of America's largest. So for diversified products that fit your financial needs to the letter, look for the Principal Edge.
Dear USA, there is a city where marketplaces are full of wonders, where giants play, troubadours entertain, and elves and dragons dance together. A magical city where the friends you make are friends for life. It's Barcelona. It's in Spain.
Those figures for the meeting, you don't like them?
Some things are so reliable, they seem invisible.
Confusing, right? They're fine.
For the last 9 years, Canon has been the #1 choice for copiers of uncompromising quality.
No, really, tell me. You can tell me. They're fine. I'm your friend, tell me.
And if you haven't noticed, that's exactly how it should be.
We're not friends anymore.
From compact to advanced digital color to high-speed copying systems, the choice is Canon. Call 1-800-OK-CANON.
A couple of plays back, O'Brien gets sandwiched by Talley and Hanson of the Buffalo Bills, and you'll see that he falls a little awkwardly on his right shoulder, but he's holding his left. So the good news of that is it is his left shoulder and not his right shoulder.
And he may return to the game. Here's Kelly with a play action, and under pressure he sends it far downfield. Beebe has it knocked away, flag down on Tony Stargell, who was defending for the Jets. It's going to be interference on Stargell. Lageman and Bird were putting the pressure on Kelly, but he got it away far downfield. Coslett can't believe it. Interference call on Tony Stargell.
Pass interference. Number 48, defense. Automatic first down.
Well, the field judge, Bob Wortman, decides that this is interference, and Stargell does appear to get there just a hair early. Albeit he is playing the ball. Stargell is really playing the football there, folks, and that's another one of those calls that you wonder, really, did they have to call that interference?
He said number 48, but he meant number 45, Tony Stargell, as Thurman Thomas makes the reception. And you see the time remaining down to 1:40 in the first half.
Boy, Stargell had such good position on that. Really was playing the ball all the way. That was a tough call for the Jets, and that might be just what Kelly and these Bills need to get their offense on track.
Trying to tie it up before halftime. Again, Thomas over the middle. Close to the first down. It'll depend on the spot of the football. Mo Lewis made the tackle for the Jets. The Jets dominating the first half, but the Bills with a chance to get back in it here, and hope you'll stay with us in intermission for the Domino's Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report. Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson, Will McDonough, all the scores and highlights. Domino's Pizza NFL Halftime Report, not counting Bill Parcells, who was in Cleveland today for the Bengals-Browns game. Parcells will return to the studio when our friend Paul McGuire returns to the broadcast booth. And Paul watching up in Buffalo today, and best wishes to him as he recovers from a heart attack and bypass surgery. And speaking of milestones, Pete Carroll, as they measure for the Bills' first down, and it's just inches short. Pete Carroll celebrating his 40th birthday today. And so far, it's been a pleasant one for the defensive coordinator of the Jets, trying to rally his troops for one more stand here late in the second quarter.
Well, you can probably tell Pete Carroll really hasn't a lot of time today to celebrate his birthday, as there is a lot of work at hand.
4th and inches for the Buffalo Bills, who huddle up on this play. Something we don't see them do often these days. Excuse me, 3rd and inches. And Carwell Gardner dives for the Bill first down. He's inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line. And a timeout taken by the Buffalo Bills with 1:06 left in the first half. Pete Carroll trying to hold off the Bills in the latter stages of the opening half, with the Jets leading 10-3.
We built this business.
They came in with their big pumps and stopped the flooding. Saved my business. All I've worked for.
Build this business.
Your people really care. It meant a lot to us.
They lent me the money. Without it, Debbie couldn't have started college.
If we're going to build a strong, competitive economy for our nation's future, where will tomorrow's skilled workers come from? I'm Mark Kelso of the Buffalo Bills, and I've got an answer that's working right here in Buffalo. It's the new employment training program spearheaded by the United Way with support from the community. Here they're learning woodworking. In here they're learning fashion design and cutting out a career for their future.
Someday you'll want my fashion designs. Thanks for the chance.
Here it's auto mechanics, and it's working. You got it right on the money. The United Way gives career counseling. The corporations provide the training and job opportunities. This is Jennifer, and she's learning computer skills.
Someday I'm going to do your computerized bookkeeping. Thanks for the chance.
Vocational and academic skills are developed so the student can function independently and succeed in life. Together with these people and programs, we're solving our problems. And we can celebrate their success and a better future for all of us because of the United Way. It brings out the best in all of us. Right, guys? Right!
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Ken O'Brien and the Jet offense dominating time of possession in the game so far. O'Brien still nursing a bruised left shoulder, but expected to return. And the Bills now threatening after this play.
This play set up the excellent field position. That was the interference call on Stargell. It was close, but nevertheless, it was interference.
Kelly in the shotgun, first down play from the Jet 28. In the flat, Thurman Thomas goes one-on-one, eludes one tackler, and then ducks out of bounds in front of Mo Lewis. Bills still with 2 timeouts remaining. Jets with a full complement of 3, 1:01 on the clock, second quarter. Bills looking to tie before halftime.
You know, I believe these Bills have scored 7 touchdowns and 9 times they're inside the 20. It's an outrageous number.
Kelly looked one way, comes the other, under pressure. Thomas comes back to make a great catch in front of Kyle Clifton. There's the classic coming back to the football.
And the classic linebacker eyeing Thomas and not turning his head around. Kelly under heavy pressure. Look, Clifton is in position but doesn't get his head turned around quickly enough. Smartly taken out of bounds by Thomas to stop the clock.
Inside the 20-yard line, the Bills have been dynamite. They have it now inside the 20. Second down. Kelly for the end zone. Wide open. Reed. He scores.
Andre Reed. Koslick knows he can't shut down Marv Levy's offense. He just wants to slow him down a little bit. That time, Reed was in a foot race with Hasty, and Reed left Hasty at the line of scrimmage. Had Hasty in pursuit from the get-go, and Kelly hit him right on the numbers.
Third touchdown catch of the season for Andre Reed, the 41st of his career. And now Scott Norwood with the extra point to tie the game with 49 seconds left in the first half. And the game tied after that 7-yard touchdown pass from Kelly to Andre Reed.
Reed in the middle of the screen simply runs an out pattern. Number 40 on the right will come into play, but way late. You see Hasty's in the catch-up position. Could not make the play. You watch Andre Reed right here. Hasty's going to try and get out there, but he'll be in a chase position from the get-go. Cannot catch up to him. Too deep. Hasty was lined up too deep that time to take away that short out pattern for the touchdown. Once again, Kelly with pretty good pass protection back there, but it's a quick hitting pass. And look at that separation between Reed and Hasty. Just too much room given up by Hasty down at the goal line.
And the game tied at 10 with just 49 seconds left in the second quarter after that Buffalo drive, which covered 80 yards in only 1 minute, 9 seconds, and 6 plays. Stay with us at halftime. The Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report with Messrs. Costas, McDonough, and Simpson coming up shortly. Key play in that drive was the interference call against Tony Stargell of the Jets, and it was a close call. Mathis and Odegaard deep to receive the kickoff, and DeLucio sends it to the goal line. Mathis. Terrence Mathis with a seam down the sideline. Good field position for the Jets. They'll start in Bill territory, and a flag comes down. It could be even more. Jones and Hicks finally got Mathis down as he was streaking up the right sideline for a 50-yard return.
And that's just why the Bills.
Personal foul, 15-yard face mask foul, number 5. On the kicking team, 15 yards, first down.
A good gap on the left side of your screen. Then you'll see DeLuiso get in there and get a hand on that face mask, and they're going to give him 15 yards because that is a blatant penalty. You see, DeLuiso didn't let go of that face mask. Once he had it, he kind of held on to it a bit too long. I know it's an accident. Players get their hands up there and their fingers get caught, but as soon as that hand gets in there, you must let go, and DeLuiso did not let go quickly enough.
Ken O'Brien has returned at quarterback for the Jets with 41 seconds left in New York with a first down at the Bill 35-yard line. O'Brien suffering a bruised left shoulder on a previous series, the last time the Jets had the ball, but they need him back in there. That's the kind of day he's had.
Well, O'Brien has 3 timeouts.
The play is being reviewed.
I don't know what they're reviewing.
Well, maybe the yardage situation.
The play stands.
Okay, the play stands for Bruce Coslett and his team to take over. They have 41 seconds left and 3 timeouts to work with. So the Jets can get in better field goal position, possibly even get the touchdown.
10-10 game, 41 seconds left in the first half. O'Brien retreats to go to the air. Man wide open is Toon. Al Toon to the 17-yard line.
I don't know why they don't call a timeout. Why they're wasting time. They needed to call timeout right away.
They finally stopped the clock with 31 seconds left after O'Brien shakes off the injury and comes right back to hit Al Toon for 18 yards and a Jet first down.
A big play, a nice gainer. Right there's Al Toon. He'll hook up in the middle of the field in between a couple of Bills and then turn and head upfield. Now, the reason I was saying, all right, O'Brien, call timeout now. Call timeout now. But they wasted about 5 seconds on the clock. It may not mean anything on this drive, but then again, 5 seconds can be real important.
Well, next Saturday, NBC's coverage of all the thrills and excitement of Notre Dame football continues as the Irish host the Michigan State Spartans. Remember last year, the Irish prevailed in their game against Michigan State on a deflected pass. They went into the hands of Adrian Gerald on the Michigan State 2-yard line. That play then set up the Irish winning TD with 34 seconds left as they pulled it out 20-19. That's Notre Dame, Michigan State. 2 timeouts left for the Jets, 31 seconds remaining. They try to recapture the lead before intermission. Ball at the 18 of the Bills, first down. 4 wides in the game. O'Brien had it tipped. It falls incomplete.
The Bills putting pressure on O'Brien. Came with a blitz that time, and Kirby Jackson got in there. Also the cornerback. Fooled the Jets, maybe, but Coslett had an open receiver. Had the ball not been tipped at the line of scrimmage by a smart defensive player.
Bruce Coslett there with Browning Nagel, the Jets rookie quarterback, who was their second-round draft choice. O'Brien's second down pass tipped and falls incomplete off the hands of Al Toon, who was wrapped up by Mark Kelso. 25 ticks left. That's Freeman McNeil shaken up. And the Jets precariously thin at running back.
There's Freeman McNeil right there trying to pick up the blitzer. You see he gets his head turned a little bit. I think he may have gotten a finger in his eye. It appeared that time that Clifford Hicks stuck his finger up around the face mask and got Freeman McNeil's right eye.
Of course, this is an injury timeout, so it's a charge timeout, and the Jets are down to their final timeout with 25 seconds left. The clock would have stopped on an incomplete pass.
Watch Hicks's right hand here, folks. It gets right in the face mask area and turns Freeman McNeil's head, and I believe touched his eye a bit. It's painful as heck to have a finger stuck in your eye. Great balance in the Jet offense in the first half. McNeil has rushed for 42 yards as
The Jets have rushed 18 times for 86 yards. O'Brien has passed 18 times, completing 12 for 160 yards. Well, the rushing defense of the Bills has been a problem all season long.
Well, in 2 games, you know, Miami was able to run the ball. Some Miami did a good job. And, of course, last week Pittsburgh ran. But you Bills folks remember Bruce Smith's not in there. Jeff Wright's not in there. You don't have your defense out there at 100% capacity. So I don't think this defense has anything to be ashamed of by giving up those rushing yards.
Freeman McNeil getting the eye test. You can see how cloudy that right eye is. It's already bloodshot from the finger to the eye.
Freeman is tough, though, huh? He wants to know why they didn't call face mask penalty, and I would think because they didn't see the hand of Hicks go to Freeman McNeil's face.
Then the #1 Jet rusher for 8 of his 10 previous years in the league. In fact, 8 straight years that ended in 1989. Freeman McNeil was the top ground gainer for New York.
Freeman's like a Rolls Royce, boy. It just keeps right on running, Jack.
Now O'Brien faces a 3rd and 10 from the Bill 18, already in field goal range. 1 timeout left. You see the clock. Burkett, flag down. Burkett down at the 8, tackled by Nate Odom.
Timeout, New York.
Jets used their last timeout, but there was a penalty marker on the play.
Came in the secondary on the other side of the field.
Holding against the Bills. That'll be an automatic first down with just 21 seconds left. Marv Levy wants the explanation. He says no way.
Well, the key here will be, was that completion enough for a first down? If not, the Jets...
We have to check with the measurement to see if a first down is made.
Okay, that's right. Otherwise, the Jets can decline the penalty. If this is a first down, the Jets will decline the penalty, take the ball where it is. And if it's not a first down, the Jets will take the penalty and have an automatic first down.
And because of the penalty, they won't be charged with that timeout. It's just short. Cosler saying that's a first down.
Yes, well, if they accept the holding penalty, defensive holding gives first down. Here's O'Brien taking another hit by Dr. Sack Seals.
So the defensive hold, 5 yards and a first down from the previous spot is accepted.
So 5 yards stepped off, automatic first down, still 1 timeout left.
And 21 seconds, and from this area of the field, you could run 3 plays anyway in 21 seconds.
First down at the Bill 14, 10-10 tie. Ryan scrambling, buying some time. Looks to the end zone. Broken up, intended for 2. Through some tight coverage from James Williams.
Good pressure by the Bills pass rush that time, forcing O'Brien out of the pocket, forcing O'Brien to throw when he didn't want to. See, Bryan gets back there, and now he's going to get pressure from the inside. Cornelius Bennett and Lodish. There's a receiver open to O'Brien's right. He passes him up and tries to get it in the end zone. Terrence Mathis appeared to be open in front of Toombs, but O'Brien tried to get that touchdown.
Second down from the Bill 14. 14 seconds left. Blitz, ball knocked down. Kirby Jackson came on a corner blitz and knocked the pass away. That's the second time that's happened. 12 seconds left. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Pretty good protection, except for Kirby Jackson. 47 on the other side of the screen, gets his hand up and deflects that pass. Another good defensive play by the Bills.
What do you call here, 3rd and 10 from the 14 and only 12 seconds left?
Well, you have 1 timeout left, so you can try to run a sucker draw of some kind, even a screen play to set up the field goal. This is third down. You can complete something in the middle of the field and still use your timeout.
O'Brien has misfired on his last 4 pass attempts. For the end zone, in the corner, tight coverage, and intercepted. Intercepted by Williams, a costly mistake by O'Brien. It cost them a chance for the field goal. The Jets were looking at a cinch field goal to take the lead before halftime, and O'Brien threw it right into the teeth of coverage, and it will go for no points after the Jets had a golden opportunity.
Well, James Williams, number 31, is in excellent position over there. O'Brien didn't get enough air on this ball. He's trying to throw it up in the air and let his tall receiver get up there and get after it. But James Williams, beautiful position that time to make the interception. See, had the ball been laying up, Moore may have had a chance, but that is just excellent defensive coverage.
What about O'Brien's decision to throw it into that coverage?
It's a bad pass. I don't mind his decision to go over there and give his receiver a chance one-on-one, but you've got to lay the ball up higher to utilize the height of Moore.
And the Buffalo Bills saw their chances to go into the locker room behind, taken away by the interception by O'Brien. Kozlitz's Jets with a golden opportunity to take the lead after controlling the ball for most of the first half. O'Brien with a poor pass, intercepted in the end zone, and will end the first half tied at 10.
NBC presents Dolly Parton in a revealing television role.
Is this what you wanted?
You're gorgeous. She had what every man desired, but one man desired too much.
If you hurt me, I swear I'll kill you.
A world premiere movie about the pain behind the fame. Wild Texas Wind, coming to NBC.
Why does Marine Midland work so well for so many? You can talk to us. Talk savings with Lynn Welch. Her interest is help hundreds earn more interest. Education, see Linda Gilbert. She's put 1,300 kids through college, including 2 of her own. It's not just billions in assets or hundreds of branches that make us what we are. Marine people do it so well because they do it so much. So let's work it out together. See Bill Ryan. He spent the last 5 years thinking retirement for folks like these.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Video Factory presents Matt Threadlock.
Gin.
Oh, well, I gotta go. I gotta get these movies back to Video Factory before they close.
Whoa, when'd you rent them?
Yesterday morning.
Oh, heck, you got till tomorrow night then. Video Factory rentals are 3 evenings, 2 days. If you rent some tapes on Monday, they're not due back until closing Wednesday.
Ooh, that's great. I'll have time to load up on all kinds of great movies.
Sure, now why don't you sit down? I'll show you how to play 7-card stud.
Is this a game of chance?
Not the way I play it, no.
There's a Video Factory near you.
Watch West Go Forth on Channel 2, your 24-hour news station. 24-hour news station. This is a Channel 2 News update.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Brown. Here's a brief look at some of the stories making news headlines today. A political battle in West Valley over nuclear waste is red hot again. Town Supervisor Bill King, a supporter of the plan to bring more radioactive material to West Valley, was defeated last night in a Democratic primary. King, a registered Democrat, will still appear on the ballot in November under the Republican line. He faces a 3-way contest against 2 anti-dump candidates. Still, King is being gracious.
They beat me fair and square, no question. I hope that we can handle things differently in November.
Also last night, an anti-dump candidate was nominated for town council. Officials at the U.S. Army Reserve Center in Niagara Falls mapping out a cleanup plan today for a toxic spill that occurred yesterday when a private contractor dropped an electrical transformer splashing PCBs. The spill was apparently contained within minutes. The State Department of Environmental Conservation is testing water on the base. Officials say there's no health threat to the general public. Officials at the Internal Revenue Service shutting down the Checker Cab Company in Blaisdell over the weekend. The company owes the IRS several $100,000 in back taxes. 6 cabs, a tow truck, and radio equipment was taken by the IRS. An auction may be held to recover the money. Time now to take a quick look at the weather. What's it look like, Renee?
Okay, well, right now we have mostly cloudy skies in Buffalo, 79 degrees. We're already seeing some pretty strong storms moving through Niagara and Orleans County. Let's look at the forecast for tonight. There's a good chance all of us could see those storms at least till sunset. Partly cloudy and warm, a low 66 to 68. For Monday, partly sunny and breezy, another real warm day, chance of a late day shower. High near the record 84 degrees. So that's a quick look at the forecast. Monday night, fair skies as well. It's going to stay pretty muggy for the next couple of days.
Okay. That's the halftime report. Our next news at 9 on Channel 2, your 24-hour news station.
What's in, hut? Funky chicken. Duck walk. Moonwalk. Disco. Windmill. Air guitar. James Brown. Jimmy plays Monterey.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
These days, people are interested in choosing what's right for them. At Key Bank, that's what we've been interested in all along. That's why we offer all of our products and services in a variety of ways, so you can get just what you need, just the way you need it. After all, we've never thought that one solution would work for everyone. We're more interested in offering the one that works best for you. Key Bank, America's neighborhood bank.
Bills, 20 minutes of possession time to 9 for Buffalo, but the Jets only settling for a 10-10 tie after Ken O'Brien tossed an interception in the end zone on the next to last play of the first half. Still, the Jets in the football game, tied with the unbeaten Buffalo Bills, 10-10 after the first 2 quarters of play here at Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands. Now to continue at halftime, let's go to Bob Costas at NFL Live.
Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Nobody knows like Domino's how you like pizza at home.
And apparently they like it in the studio as well, as one of the Manhattan Domino's outlets has been delivering seemingly throughout the day, and OJ and Will have availed themselves of that. You will not go malnourished on these Sunday afternoons, that's for sure. We'll get to all the games in progress in just a moment, but first, let's take a quick look back. These are all finals, and we'll start at the Silverdome in Pontiac, where Don Shula was going for career win number 300, but that man, Barry Sanders, had other ideas. Bust loose for his first big day of the year. Sanders had 143 yards. It was tied at 10 when Rodney Peete got inside the flag in the third quarter. Dolphins could only add a field goal after that. Shula's team falls short. They lose it 17-13. The Giants have not won in Chicago since 1962, when Allie Sherman was their head coach. This man, Ray Handley, watched his team fall behind 13-0 at the half. A pair of Rodney Hampton touchdowns helped them come back to take a 17-13 lead, but then Neil Anderson took off on this run in the fourth quarter. He dives to the flag, gives them a 20-17 lead, which is preserved when Matt Barr's 35-yard field goal attempt, which could have forced overtime, is deflected as time runs out, and the Bears take their record to 3-0 by winning it 20-17, and the Giants are 1 up and 2 down. For the third straight week, the Phoenix Cardinals were my upset selection, and they finally betrayed me. Joe Bugle, against his old club, the Washington Redskins, saw his team turn it over 4 times. Through the first 2 weeks, they had been the ones taking it away from their opponents. Here's Wilbur Marshall with his second interception of the day against Tom Tupa. He fakes the lateral, and the veteran brings it back all the way for the touchdown. The Redskins are 3-0. They wallop the Phoenix Cardinals, who haven't beaten them at RFK since 1978, 34-0. Here's Joe Morris, the former Giant. 31st birthday, not a good way to celebrate it. Leg injury, he goes out for the Browns. Matt Stover attempts a 45-yard field goal here as time ticks down, and he sneaks it inside the upright. The Browns beat the Bengals, who are 0-3, 14-13. James Brooks, 111 yards for the Bengals, but tackled in the end zone for a safety, and that proved to be the difference in the game. George Seifert, playing without Joe Montana, does watch Steve Young throw 2 more touchdown passes to Jerry Rice, but it isn't enough at the Metrodome. Anthony Carter latches onto this one from Wade Wilson, and watch. He's not down. The tackler kind of propped him up. Carter pops back up, goes for the TD, and the Vikings are able to win it at home 17-14 over the 49ers. Coach Jimmy Johnson's Dallas Cowboys, there he is. They had lost 7 in a row to the Eagles coming into this one at Texas Stadium, and now it's 8. Troy Aikman was sacked 11. That's right, 11 times. The league record is 12. Clyde Simmons gets credit for 4.5, including that one. It was a good day passing for Jim McMahon, 18 of 29 and a pair of touchdowns. This one with Fred Barnett was almost a TD. They scored on the next play as Barnett, after the 44-yarder, is down at the 1, and the Eagles win it by a score of 24-0. Also earlier today, Pittsburgh goes to 2-1. The Patriots to 1-2, 20-6 the final at Three Rivers. And this one broke the heart of O.J. Simpson. He picked the Buccaneers as his upset special. They led 13-5 with 2 minutes to go. The Magic Man, Don Majkowski, pulled a miracle at Lambeau Field. Pack wins it 15-13, Jim.
All I needed was one first down, and I could have tied you at 2-1, Bob, but at least I lost by 2 points. You lost by 34 points.
That's because I'm picking real underdogs. I'm out there on a limb. I'm not picking these chintzy 2- and 3-point underdogs.
2 wins is what you've done.
All right, enough already. We move right along to scores of games in progress. Buffalo and the Jets. The Jets, you may recall, played the Bills very tough in Week 7 last year in Buffalo, actually had the lead in the 4th quarter. And here they've had a pretty good job of controlling the ball, and the game is tied at 10-all at halftime. Jim Kelly has thrown a 7-yard touchdown pass to Andre Reed, Kelly's 9th touchdown pass already this year. The Raiders moved to the 3rd quarter at the Coliseum with a 13-0 lead on the Colts. Jay Schrader, a 16-yard touchdown pass to Mervyn Fernandez, Jeff Jager, a pair of field goals. Denver with the halftime lead in the game. Some of you are watching 10-0 on the Seahawks. Elway, a 61-yarder to Ricky Nattiel. And Atlanta, which was the upset special selected this week by Will McDonough, leading at the half in San Diego. Both clubs are 0-2. Falcons have lost 19 straight road games, leading on the road 10-7. Another Atlanta club has happy news for its fans. The Braves beat the Dodgers again today, 9-1. Steve Avery wins his 16th. Sid Bream, a grand slam homer in the 1st inning off the Dodgers' Ramon Martinez. The Braves lead by a game and a half in the National League West. And we continue at halftime right after these messages.
NBC Premiere Week starts tonight with the real-life adventures of Mark and Brian.
Run, Dorothy!
The New York Times calls them irrepressible and exuberant. Then it's Erie, Indiana, the show critics call the best reason ever to tune out 60 Minutes.
Enough said.
The real-life adventures of Mark and Brian, followed by Erie, Indiana, premiering at 7, 6 Central, NBC tonight.
In case you've been too busy to notice, McDonald's prices have changed. An original hamburger is just 59 cents. A cheeseburger just 69 cents. A sausage biscuit, 79 cents. But if you're in a hurry, don't worry. Because this is not a promotion. It's McDonald's today. And from now on.
Watch Ed Kilgore on Channel 2, your 24-hour news station.
The Bills and the Jets tied 10-10 as we get ready to start the 3rd quarter of play from Giant Stadium at the Meadowlands. Welcome back, Tom Hammond and Joe Namath. Joe, that half ended on a disastrous play for the New York Jets, who were in cinched field goal range with a chance to take the lead at halftime, and Ken O'Brien decided to throw this one into the end zone.
Well, I'll tell you, as a quarterback, this is like the worst thing you can do, take your team away from a scoring position. It's a fine play over there by James, but as a quarterback, you want to make sure not to turn the ball over here. O'Brien decided to go to Rob Moore, lay the ball up high, and he just didn't get it up high enough. James made a great play.
Was it ado for the confidence of O'Brien and for his entire offensive team that it played so well in that first half?
Oh, they played well. And an interception like that Williams made, you see what it does is it takes that momentum away from the Jets that they would have had going in at halftime. They'd have spent that last 20 minutes being up and excited about either another Leahy field goal or touchdown. But instead, it's the Bills that are in the locker room at halftime saying, all right, we're fired up now. It's 10-10 and we played our worst. The second half, we're going to go out and get them.
Well, the New York Jets have dominated the statistics in the first half, even though the score is tied at 10-10. And as you see our Coors Light halftime stats, look at the time of possession, nearly 21 minutes for the New York Jets to just over 9 for the Buffalo Bills. And total yards, 241 for New York, 130 for Buffalo. And the game plan for the Jets was to play a little ball control and to keep that no-huddle offense of Jim Kelly and company off the field. And for the most part, they've done that. In fact, the Buffalo Bills touchdown was largely a result of an interference call that was a very close call.
Oh, Stargell played the ball nicely, and an official called interference on Stargell from the other side of the field. And hey, it's a good break for the Bills, a bad break for the Jets. The bottom line is the Bills and Jets are tied, folks, and that's all that matters. Forget about time of possession, penalties, and all that stuff. The first half was even. This would decide the game, the second half.
Daloiso with a kick right to the goal line. Kick coverage has been a problem the last few games for the Bills. This time it's pretty good as Odegaard returns the kick to about the 20-yard line, where he's stopped by Steve Tasker, the special teams par excellence performer for the Buffalo Bills, who has been to the Pro Bowl as a special teams performer. And Joe, in that phase of the game, nobody does it better.
Nobody does it better. That's right. Tasker not only hustles downfield hard, but he has a knack of playing off blockers, throwing his body recklessly to the ball carrier. In fact, it was Tasker that caused the problem on that blundered punt that the Jets had earlier. Tasker was right down there in excellent position on Mathis, and Mathis had to worry about Tasker being there, and I think that's why he dropped that one punt.
Tasker has his own TV show back in Buffalo. You see the numbers on Ken O'Brien in the first half. The interception, though, very costly. It cost the Jets at least 3 points in the lead. Blair Thomas with the first carry of the second half and gets only a yard or so as Cornelius Bennett homes in on the football and makes the tackle.
Well, Cornelius Bennett at 97, nobody touches him. Chris Dressel, 84, cannot make the cutoff block on their quick, speedy Bennett. Bennett just hustles right across there and runs down the ball carrier from behind. Not many linebackers come in this kind of a package. The enthusiasm and the physical ability to go along with it.
Call him Biscuit. Cornelius Bennett, now in his 5th year out of Alabama. One of the top players in the game. Draw play, nothing for Blair Thomas. Once again, Cornelius Bennett is all over the ball carrier.
Well, he got there faster than Dave Cadigan, for example, expected. What, you'll see Cadigan 66 taking an angle to block Bennett, but Bennett's already 3 yards across the line of scrimmage. Most defensive players are still in the area shallower than that, where Cadigan normally could block, but not Bennett. He's too quick, he's fast, he's aggressive.
Somebody's going to have to block Cornelius Bennett. It's 3rd down and 10 for the Jets. They have wide receivers, 3 of them to the right. O'Brien in trouble, hit from behind. The ball is loose, and the Bills have it. It's ruled Buffalo's football, a fumble. O'Brien says his arm was going forward. Bob McElwee says Buffalo's football. Cornelius Bennett all over the field on the first 3 plays of the second half. Mike Lodish was the man that knocked it free, and Bennett came up with it. Second sack of O'Brien, and the football to Buffalo.
And good coverage downfield for the Bills. You folks at home decide, was this ball going forward? Is it an incomplete pass or a fumble? Here he can't find anyone, and now Lodish is coming around in the back door. Watch Lodish. He hits that ball. That looks like fumble to me. It looks like Lodish knocked that ball loose before O'Brien's arm was going forward.
The play will be reviewed.
And the play is being reviewed, as we were sure it would be. Norm Kragseth is the replay official.
Mike Lodish, number 73, who says his biggest asset is keeping that motor going, man. He has a great opportunity playing out there now because of the injuries to Wright and Smith, and he said he's going to make the best of it. Take another look at it. I don't think the ball ever gets going forward here. That ball's tipped out of his hands while it's back. I don't think we're going to see this overruled. I think we'll see the Bills have the ball.
Well, we had a play like this, similar to this, reviewed earlier. Was it a forward pass or was it a fumble? Fumble was ruled in that case. The field officials ruled it a fumble in this case.
After further review, the play stands. First down.
And as you said, Joe, it is ruled a fumble, and it will be Buffalo's ball. First down at the 16-yard line of the Jets. Now, is this where the Jets, after playing a great game to this point, start to come apart?
We will find out. The defense has their back to the goal line. The Bills only 16 yards away.
Kelly across the middle, incomplete off the hands of Andre Reed, who took a tough hit from Mo Lewis. Mo Lewis, number 57, the rookie linebacker from Georgia, who earned a starting spot in the preseason for the Jets. Former All-SEC player, led Georgia in tackles as a senior. And Bruce Coslett said of Mo Lewis, he'll turn some heads in his rookie year before it's over. 2nd and 10. Again, Kelly across the middle, and again, broken up. Kyle Clifton made a pass at it and might have just tipped it away from the intended receiver, Thurman Thomas.
That reminded me of an old linebacker we had named Al Atkinson, who tipped the pass in the Super Bowl that went a ride way intercepted. Let's see if you can see Clifton get a hand on that ball. Nope. I think Clifton may have gotten a hand on the ball and knocked the flight off just a little bit, and Thomas couldn't make the adjustment.
3rd and 10 from the 16. Again, Kelly this time has his man, and it is Andre Reed that is spun out of bounds close to the first down marker by Hasty in Washington. I don't think he got enough. And so Carroll's defense holds Buffalo out of the end zone. They'll settle for a Scott Norwood field goal attempt. Earlier in the game, Norwood had his career high of 52-yard field goal. This one will be about 26 yards. Norwood in the first game of the season against Miami missed a 25-yarder. This one officially is 25 yards. And Scott Norwood, for the first time today, gives Buffalo the lead. The Bills take advantage of a New York fumble to go up by 3.
It's a car born of intelligent engineering. It's 100,000 ideas fused into one. It's responsive, innovative, refined. It's a driver's side airbag and anti-lock brakes. Introducing the all-new 88 Royale LS. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Your biggest competitor is working on a proposal for the same job you're after.
You want this to be enlarged?
They have about the same idea as you do.
Copy this slide.
The only difference is...
Let's print it.
They own a Canon color laser copier, and you don't. Who would you give the job to? If you think you can't afford a Canon color laser copier, maybe you can't afford to be without one. Call 1-800-OK-CANON.
Domino's just what you're into. Domino's just where you're at. Nobody knows like Domino's.
Domino's Pizza doesn't make your pizza until you make your call and delivers in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed.
Nobody knows like Domino's.
Domino's Pepperoni Pizza Feast with extra pepperoni and cheese. Now a medium's just $8.99 or 2 for $12.99.
Nobody knows like Domino's. How you like pizza at home.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. By Domino's Pizza. Nobody knows like Domino's how you like pizza at home. By Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized. And by Hertz. We never forget who made us #1. We're Hertz. We're America's wheels.
From Giant Stadium, Tom Hammond and Joe Namath as Brad Daloiso kicks off for the Bills, taken by Terrence Mathis about 2 yards deep. Mathis upended, falls to the 20-yard line, and there is Tasker once again to make the tackle for the Buffalo Bills. Well, tonight is premiere night for our NBC entertainment, and it begins at 7 o'clock Eastern Time with the adventures of Mark and Brian. 2 guys taking on the adventures of a lifetime in that show. Then a show that critics call the best new program of the season, Erie, Indiana. And 2 great comedies with 2 great stars. James Garner, a con man politician you'll love to hate, man of the people. Then Robert Guillaume stars in Pacific Station, capped off by John Ritter in the box office hit Problem Child, a network premiere movie. A night of premieres tonight on NBC.
I tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing James Garner. Heck, I remember watching him in that old Maverick series when I was just a boy, and I just like watching Big Jim.
He's a golfing partner of yours, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
First down for the Jets. For the first time today, they are behind Buffalo. Play action pass, and the pass is dropped by Ken Wisenhunt, who was wide open. Perhaps just a little out of his grasp, but that's a catch that Wisenhunt has to make.
Oh, you're right, Tom. O'Brien did a good job of getting the ball around Cornelius Bennett, who distracted O'Brien a bit. You'll see O'Brien just get that ball around Bennett, and Wisenhunt should make this catch. Yeah, we don't see the end of it, but that ball should have been caught.
Ken O'Brien's last 6 passes going back to the first half have fallen incomplete or intercepted. Play action. O'Brien's pass is complete this time to Al Toon. First down at the 40-yard line. Nate Odom's tackling Toon after a gain of 20.
Now, just a little play-action fake here. It's going to slow down the Bills a little bit. They honor that fake, and O'Brien has a beautiful pocket to throw from at Al Toon, the whole middle of the field. Nate Odoms makes the play, but you can see how much room Nate Odoms is giving Al Toon. He really respects the speed that Al Toons has.
Almost a late hit there by Leonard Smith. Toon's 5th reception of the day for 64 yards. Handoff to Johnny Hector, makes a couple of nice moves and takes it to midfield. A gain of nearly 10 yards before he's tackled by Leonard Smith and Darryl Talley. Here's our Hertz 10-minute ticker. The late game's in progress. Raiders continue to shut out the Colts. Same score, Denver over Seattle. Broncos have been playing well in the early season. San Diego now within 3, playing at home against the Falcons. And here at the Meadowlands, Buffalo leading New York 13-10. You see the time remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Jets will be without Freeman McNeil for the remainder of the game. He carried 8 times for 42 yards, including a touchdown. He has a bruised right eye and will not return. 2nd and a yard for O'Brien. Hands it to Blair Thomas. Thomas picking his way forward and is thrown back by Carlton Bailey. Nice tackle by Bailey, the 4-year veteran out of North Carolina, who started 6 games a year ago and now has moved into a regular starting spot for the Bills.
Let's take a look at Cornelius Bennett here. He's going to be blocked by Chris Dressel, number 84, who's staying right in front with Bennett. Now Bennett gets a little upset with Dressel cutting his legs a little bit. I tell you, Dressel just looked like he gave it good effort, and Bennett didn't like any part of it.
5 tackles and 2 assists for Cornelius Bennett, who personally disrupted that last New York Jet drive and recovered a fumble. Play-action pass on 1st down. And it is Chris Dressel that makes it a 4-yard gain to the 45 of the Bills. Shane Conlon wraps him up there.
Well, Bruce Coslet's team seems to have their composure. You know, when you have that turnover at the end of the first half and then another turnover where the Bills went ahead 13-10, it can rattle a team. But the offensive unit of the Jets right now seem to be putting together another fine drive.
They're at the 45, just inside it of the Buffalo Bills. Walt Corey's been trying to rally his defense all day against the ball control play of the New York Jets. Points are what count, of course, and right now the Jets trail by 3. Handoff to Baxter. Brad Baxter chugs ahead, close to a 1st down inside the 40 of the Bills. Leon Seals and Mike Lodish combining on the hit for Buffalo.
Well, I'll tell you, this Jets offensive line's doing some job up front. Dave Cadigan and Jim Sweeney, White. I tell you, they look at the hole. I mean, there's a stand-up. Cadigan's pushing his man downfield. They're 5 yards downfield. 69 Criswell is 5-6 yards downfield. A great surge by the offensive line of the Jets, and they're going against the Bills' defensive front that shows 3 down linemen right now. Lodish, Hansen, and Seals.
The Bills opened up with that sickened defense. 2 down linemen and 5 linebackers. They've gone to 3 down since the Jets have been moving the ball on the ground. O'Brien to the airways. Complete to Toon. Now Toon spun down after he makes another 1st down catch. J.D. Williams been victimized a couple of times by O'Brien and Toon today.
Well, the play-action fake holds the defense. O'Brien's a little late getting the ball out there. Toon was open for a while, and James Williams does recover to keep it to about an 8 or 9 yard gain, but this offense of the Jets is looking sharp.
Toon 6 catches for 77 yards. James Williams, the man that had the interception, killing the Jet drive just before halftime, but Toon's made some catches on him today as well. All at the 26. Baxter, not much there. Cornelius Bennett in there to get a piece of it, and Leon Seals also there to wrap it up.
Big Leon Seals that time. Sure, he was the first guy there, number 96. No one had a good block on him. He just played off whomever tried to get him. 96, right in the middle of your screen, right there. White tried to get him, the old road grader, number 67, and then he left him, and Seals played off the block and was the first one there.
Dwayne White, the offensive right guard of the Jets, number 67. In his 2nd year out of Alcorn State, they call him the road grader. He weighs about 320 pounds. Ken O'Brien's said the coaches want him on Slim Fast and said, but when you weigh 320, Slim Fast is not the answer. You see that he's opened up some holes for that rushing game, the New York attack today. Blair Thomas lowers his head and pounds to the Bill 9-yard line. 14-yard gain.
Over here, you watch these linemen. There's already a big hole in here, but they wall this thing off, and there's no one out there. There's a huge natural hole on the left side. Thomas breezes through it quickly. No doubt the Bills were expecting a pass that time, and the Jets crossed them up by throwing Thomas through the hole quickly.
Walt Corey, his defense ranked last in the league against the rush. And on the 10th play of the drive, 1st and goal just inside the 10. Nowhere to go. Did he fumble the ball? Still no signal. It'll be the Jets' ball. New York retains possession after the Baxter fumble. They'll spot it at the 5-yard line. Jeff Criswell recovered the fumble for the Jets.
Good effort by Baxter making what he did out of that play, because Leon Sills once again did a good job of playing off the blocker and getting good penetration, but Baxter was able to shake him and fight forward for extra yards.
Baxter playing with a quad muscle injury. And now the official signal a timeout.
Look at Chris Dressel. He likes that signal. You see, he's giving it that pump. He's telling the referee, hey, fix the clock.
That's reset the play clock signal.
Yeah, there's Dressel. He wants to help out.
Fumble was ruled on the field. Recovered at the 5-yard line. Play is being reviewed.
Can't really see when the ball comes out. So the spot of the football, the only thing in question here, and being ruled a fumble in this case would be in favor of the Jets. They'll get another couple yards out of it.
And the thing is, from the angle we just saw, you can't conclusively tell me whether Baxter's knee was down or not. And that's the key here. Did Baxter's knee hit before he fumbled the ball, or was he in fact still in the air causing the fumble or having a legitimate fumble? I'd like to get another look at that from a different angle, but I don't know whether we can tell. You tell me now, is Baxter going to be down before he fumbles the ball? This is what they have to try to figure out.
Review, the play stands.
And on that view given us by Larry Cirillo and Peter Bleckner, our producer and director, it looked like the ball did come out before Baxter was down. So it'll be 2nd and goal. Marv Levy trying to hold off the Jets. The ball on the 5-yard line. 8 possessions, 2 touchdowns, 4 field goals today. 1 each, and then that costly interception just before halftime. 2nd and goal from the 5. Hector in motion. O'Brien pass quickly to Thomas. Touchdown. Ken O'Brien's first touchdown pass of the season. And the Jets recapture the lead. A 110 touchdown passes now for Ken O'Brien, tying him with Richard Todd for 2nd on the list. As the Leahy point after is good. The leader in touchdown passes, Joe Namath of the New York Jets. Shades of Joe Willie today as the Jets playing up to some of their great teams of old. There's the all-time leader, and O'Brien looks like Namath on this one as the Jets bounce back in front.
can be measured along these lines or graded on a curve. The 1992 Oldsmobile 88 Royale, beautifully redefined and nimble enough to prove that a straight line isn't always the best way to get from point A to point B. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sports Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanation. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
The Dream Team. The world's greatest basketball players. Their mission, to bring home the Olympic gold.
Listen, get in here.
Who will be the chosen few? Find out next Saturday, following Notre Dame football.
A wild scene at the stadium while we were away. The fans going absolutely bonkers as the Jets have taken a 4-point lead on the Buffalo Bills. O'Brien's first touchdown pass of the season. Aguiar with a kickoff. Touchback, and the Bills will take over at the 20. Ken O'Brien to Blair Thomas has given the Jets the lead. Thomas takes it across the goal line, and once more the Jets in front.
You want to rent a car, but your money's tight? Give Hertz a call, they'll treat you right. Hertz, freedom rates. Put Hertz behind you all the way. Hertz, freedom rates. For as little as $19 a day. 3 miles all the way. 3 mileage all across the USA with Hertz, freedom rates. Now everyone can drive America's wheels. Hertz, we're America's wheels.
You want to spend as little as possible, yet still get the most for your money. So where do you go for tires? Your Goodyear retailer. He has a wide selection of tires at prices that are lower than you'd expect for such quality. Computer balanced, installed by experts. Where else could you pay so little for so much peace of mind? Good tires, good service, good people. Goodyear.
It's a car born of intelligent engineering. It's 100,000 ideas fused into one. It's responsive, innovative, refined. It's a driver's side airbag and anti-lock brakes. Introducing the all-new 88 Royale LS. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Witness the unmatched drama and emotion of a great golf tradition as Payne Stewart and Paul Azinger lead America against Europe's best, the Ryder Cup, later this month on NBC.
We'll show you why this play works. He'll stay right here. Kelso will take this motion man. Now Carlton Bailey's going to be asked to cover this pass. He can't get over there fast enough to do it. Watch how this thing develops. Bailey's in a foot race with Thomas, and there's no way he can get over there to stop that play.
And it capped an 80-yard Jet drive. O'Brien with a touchdown pass. Now the Bills take over. They've been held to 136 yards so far in this game after over 1,100 in their first 2 outings of the season. And New York has run 52 plays to 29 on this one. Thurman Thomas for 11 yards and a Bill first down. Bumped out of bounds by Mo Lewis. And just when you count the Bills out, of course, they get that runaway train that is the no-huddle offense chugging again.
I don't know that we're going to count these Bills out, Tom, anytime. Check this time of possession. It's rather one-sided, but the score is only 4-point difference, folks.
Kelly, screen pass to Thomas. Thomas with a nice run, and that'll get him 9 yards. And so the Bills biting off huge chunks of yardage here as they take over after the kickoff. Hertz 10-minute ticker. Raiders on their way to victory. Denver in front, and Atlanta still leading at San Diego. Lonnie Young shaken up on the play. Young, who came over from the Phoenix Cardinals in a trade in the offseason and told us yesterday he was very happy to be with this New York Jet Club. There he is, number 31. He did a great job in the preseason. He beat out Eric McMillan, the two-time Pro Bowl performer.
Some job by Young. Of course, this is his 7th season in the NFL. Young is no rookie, folks. He's been playing football and playing well for Phoenix, and the Jets were able to get him. And in training camp, hey, that's what happened. They just decided that Young beat McMillan out.
There it is, 159 yards today after they had averaged 559 in their first 2 games. Thurman Thomas, 3rd straight time he touches the ball. He only needed a yard, and that's about all he gets, but it will be enough for a first down. Kyle Clifton at the bottom of the stack for the Jets.
Well, you know what, though, Tom? Clifton and the Jets are playing well, no doubt about it. The Bills have to feel, though, they're playing their worst offensive football to this day. Granted, Pete Carroll's defense is causing a lot of that, but I know that Jim Kelly and this Buffalo Bill offense, they're really not shaking right now. They feel like that they have things under control.
James Lofton, I think that's his first reception of the day. Second catch by Lofton. Elliot Kalb, our statistician, with the call there as he broke in front of Tony Stargell.
Watch how Lofton keeps his feet in bounds, folks. I mean, he's an acrobat. Look at this. That's just beautiful.
35-year-old, 14-year veteran from Stanford. Here's Thurman Thomas, almost broke it. Tripped up at the 30-yard line. After a 12-yard gain, Tony Stargell got a hand in there to make the saving tackle. And Thomas, who is a series of nagging injuries, looks a little shaken up as he leaves the field, replaced by Kenneth Davis. Davis in his 6th year out of TCU, 2nd leading rusher for the Bills. Kelly wide open. Beebe out of bounds with a first down. Don Beebe's first catch of the day after he had 4 touchdown receptions a week ago. He suddenly became a media darling. He answered more questions than Clarence Thomas last week. He was suddenly thrust into the spotlight.
Looks like Lageman may be down on the field with an injury. He's holding his right knee. See if you can see number 56 injure that right knee. Let's see what happens here. Does he twist it, get it bumped, or what? Right here, he gets a little kick in the ankle and then goes down. Doesn't appear to be serious. Let's hope it's not. One thing the Jets have done during this drive, Tom, it's been a very efficient drive for the Bills as Lageman gets up and seems to be moving around okay. The Bills have been patient in taking the short stuff. They've had some good runs by Thomas in there. Then Kelly's been hitting the short receivers, Thomas, Beebe, Lofton on the outs. The Jets are sticking with their plan and trying to stop Marv Levy's team from getting the long, quick scores. They're making the Bills run a lot of plays, use the clock, and see just how patient Mr. Kelly can be.
Darrell Davis replaces Jeff Lageman in the Jets defensive line in his 2nd year out of TCU. 12th round draft choice. First down for Kelly. Chase got away from one man and tosses it out of the end zone. Mark Gunn nearly sacked Kelly, but he was able to elude the rookie from Pitt and threw it away.
I'll tell you, Kelly wanted to get that ball to Andre Reed over the middle, but Mo Lewis, the linebacker from the Jets, was right in there along with Clifton, and they had that middle covered well, and Kelly did a good job buying a lot of time. He just couldn't find an open receiver because of the good coverage.
Thurman Thomas back in, gets the handoff, tries to bounce it outside, being chased by Hasty and forced out of bounds. No gain on the play. Thurman Thomas couldn't turn the corner.
Well, Hasty made a good move out there with his speed. Hasty never let him have the corner.
In fact, a loss of a yard. Good play by Hasty against the run. He's one of the best one-on-one pass defenders in the league. Kelly, plenty of time, then gets away from the sack, finally wrapped up. Darrell Davis, who came in to replace Lageman, will get Kelly to the turf.
I'll tell you how loose Jim Kelly is. He wanted to throw that one left-handed. He changed hands. When they grabbed his right hand, he went to his left and wanted to get it. You watch Jim Kelly. Is he a gambler? Is he trying to do anything he can to get this job done? He doesn't quit. Doesn't ever show any quit. Watch him. He'll go to his left hand. Yeah, I'm going to throw it somehow and get it completed. But the Jets' defense is in there.
And another Jet is down at the moment. And it might be Darrell Davis who got credit for that sack. And he had replaced the injured Jeff Lageman. 98 is Darrell Davis. So the defensive ends for the Jets now down to 2, Washington and Gunn, if Lageman and Davis are out.
I'll tell you, the Jets secondary took the receivers away from Kelly. He says, boo, you got to go this way, Andre, or whatever. Kelly's not happy with the situation. It appears maybe there was some communication problems. It looked like it was excellent coverage back there in the Jets secondary.
Kelly has a reward going for his receivers, $100 when they catch a touchdown pass. Last night he took all his offensive linemen out to dinner, had the limos pull up to the hotel and load them in. But this third game of the season has not been as impressive a performance for Kelly in that high-powered Buffalo offense as they had in the first 2 games. There's Davis leaving the field and apparently only temporarily shaken up. Kelly has hit 16 of 23, 151 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Scott Norwood will attempt a 43-yard field goal. He's made 2 today from 25 and 52 yards. Frank liked the holding. Norwood's kick is good. Scott Norwood from 43 yards draws the Buffalo Bills within 1. 17-16, Jets leading, 2:24 in the third.
The power of intelligent engineering is routinely put to the test at Oldsmobile. And here's the result. Of all the Cutlass Sierras ever sold in the last 10 years, we can say 96% are still on the road. Safely say, Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Because if you don't watch your figure, who will?
It's the right beer now.
Because when it comes to water, the only place to start is at the top.
It's the right beer now.
Because when the party's going full steam, you don't want to fill up. So reach for the beer that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet.
Coors Light, it's the right beer now.
NBC Premiere Week starts tonight when the real-life adventures of Mark and Brian move to Sunday.
Run, Dorothy!
2 regular guys going totally weightless in space. The New York Times calls them irrepressible and exuberant. Then it's the show that'll change the way you watch TV.
It ain't natural.
Why? Because critics call Erie, Indiana the best reason ever to tune out 60 Minutes.
Enough said.
The real-life adventures of Mark and Brian, followed by Erie, Indiana, premiering at 7, 6 Central. NBC tonight.
The Steelers. The Eagles. Mac is back. Next Sunday.
Scott Norwood began the season in a slump, but has kicked 3 field goals today, and he's happy to be back.
He's happy, I tell you. He was going from taking a whipping to being a, I don't know, pretty demonstrative kind of guy with these fans here in New York. Do you think he's thinking of the New York Giant fans, or he has them mixed up with the Jet fans, huh?
Here's the return by Mathis. And it's across the 30-yard line. Good return by Mathis. Bruce Coslett with some final words for Ken O'Brien. This is the bench watching that Norwood field goal attempt.
25 yards on the return.
How much did he make it by, though, huh? Let's see. Nice kick, huh, Bruce? Yeah, sure. Nice kick. He said you made it by that much.
First attempt for the Jets.
That's all it takes, though, huh? It's on the scoreboard, 17-16.
Last time the Jets had the ball, they drove 80 yards for the go-ahead touchdown. Blair Thomas trying to get a block on the corner. Nowhere to go. He'll be stopped for a loss all the way back to the 27-yard line. Ray Bentley wasn't going for the blockers, wasn't going for the fakes. He made the tackle. Bentley, the author, he writes Darby the Dinosaur children's books. And he did look kind of like a brontosaurus there. He likes to paint his face. Do you see that black under his eyes? That's all part of the image, isn't it?
Well, I think that helps keep the glare from the lights out of his eyes. But that time, he did a wonderful job of playing off Baxter, who was out there trying to block Bentley. Bentley wouldn't have any of it. He just played him to the ground and made the play.
Loss of 3 by Blair Thomas. Brian in a hole now to see if they go to the air. Maybe checking off. On the clock for 1. Just got it away. Bennett closing in on O'Brien, and he unloads it. Bills want an intentional grounding. Did he let it go to avoid the sack? Probably, but it looked good enough that it'll pass. Here's the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Still the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Falcons in command. Fourth quarter games. Here we're still in the third, 1:16 left, and the Jets clinging to a 1-point edge on the Buffalo Bills.
Well, I look for them to try to hit Toon down there in the middle of the field. They've done it before. They stretch the defense out and then try to get Toon in the middle. It's going to take that much yardage for a first down.
Moore, Mathis, and Toon set to the right. 6 defensive backs for the Bills. O'Brien throws it short to Toon, and he is to the 35 and well short of first down yardage. Jackson and Smith made sure that pass didn't click for the first.
Oh, nice team defense by the Bills that time. O'Brien didn't have as much time as he wanted. The Bills put pressure on, and then their coverage downfield was very good. Good defense by Cornelius Bennett and his men.
So Aguiar is on to kick on 4th down for the New York Jets. That's Al Edwards deep for the Bills. Kick by Aguiar. Edwards retreats to the 19. Can't get outside. The green shirts pounce all over him. There's a penalty marker on the play. Chris Burkett made the tackle. The kick covered 44 yards with a 5-yard return.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 87 on the kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the play, first down.
Burkett twice in the kicking game has had costly penalties.
Well, unnecessary roughness, let's see what it is. That's the face mask. Look at that hand right there. Let it go. Oh, see, again, when these players get called for that face mask penalty, Tom, they're not trying to grab the face mask. It's just your hand gets caught up. You're not supposed to put your hands up around the player's head. Whether you're blocking, tackling, you're going to call a penalty anytime that hand gets around the face head area.
Jeff Lageman twisted his knee, but is back in the lineup on the defensive line for the Jets. Great field position for the Bills. First down at their own 40. They trail by 1. Vernon Thomas. Fumble. Jets have it. Hasty recovers for New York.
These Jets are playing like they're a contender instead of Buffalo. Thomas has a handle on the ball, but when he gets up there in traffic, one of the Jets jarred it loose, and then Hasty smartly dives on it. Excellent field position for Ken O'Brien and his offense to begin.
There's James Hasty with that fumble recovery for the Jets. And Marv Levy now sees his defense, his beleaguered defense, back on the field. First down, New York from the Bill 41. Baxter, 2 yards at most. Bill Hansen, the rookie defensive end. Marv Levy told us Hansen has the tools, just needs some experience. Chris Dressel, the tight end of the Jets, shaken up on the play, stopping the clock with just 5 seconds left in the third. Already Mark Boyer, the #1 tight end of the Jets, unable to play today because of an injury. Now the number 2 man, Chris Dressel, down. Hope you'll join us next week. All the NFL action begins at 12:30 Eastern Time with NFL Live. And next week, the NFL Live will feature the Bill Parcells intra-squad game. O.J. Simpson will have some interviews with Bill Belichick and Ray Handley. And that's the lineup of games coming your way here on NBC. All starts at 12:30 Eastern Time next Sunday.
Well, you mentioned Mark Boyer, the tight end of the Jets, is already injured. Now here's Chris Dressel, a backup tight end, often starts and plays a lot for the Jets. He's going off, but he's trotting, so he may be able to come back on the field. If he can't, it will hurt the Jets' offense severely because they do utilize a 2 tight end offense from time to time, even 3 tight ends.
And the third quarter will come to an end. That's the end of the third quarter at Giants Stadium. 17-16. We'll be back after a word from your local station.
He lived a life of love, laughter, and joy. Now, in never-before-seen footage, celebrate the extraordinary life of Michael Landon, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on NBC.
These are the machines of the 90s.
Fuel injection, overhead cam, body valve.
Today's high-tech engines demand high-tech protection. Kendall Motor Oil is specifically designed to provide the ultimate protection against heat and wear under the most extreme conditions. Don't take a chance with your high-tech engine. Use Kendall Motor Oil, formulated to protect your high-tech engine. Kendall Motor Oil, pour in the protection. Kendall, available at these locations.
We're here because we understand that it takes money to grow a business. We're here when you'd rather lease a fleet of trucks than own one. And we're here because your credit line is your lifeline. Loans, cash management, prudent advice. At North Star Bank, we have a simple business strategy. Help you succeed, and we succeed. North Star, in business to make a difference.
It's your Dodge dealers Take Advantage clearance. Plus, take advantage of up to $2,250 savings on Spirit. Take advantage of up to $2,700 savings on Shadow convertibles. Take advantage of $500 cash back, plus no extra charge air on select Caravans. And take advantage of low on-the-spot financing. It's the end of the model year, and we're really dealing, so take advantage of us while selection lasts.
See your Team Dodge dealer and get the advantage. Advantage Dodge.
Join Ed and the boys on Sports Extra, Sundays at 11:30, only on Channel 2.
Tom Hammond and Joe Namath from Giant Stadium, ready to start the fourth quarter with the Jets leading the Buffalo Bills 17-16. And it's been a festive day as the cheers have rained out throughout the game. Remember, though, the Jets in recent years have had trouble holding on to a lead. Through 3 quarters, though, they've been the dominant team in this one, holding the Bills to 191 yards total offense. Blair Thomas. No, Johnny Hector it was. Hector takes it for a first down. Tripped up by Leonard Smith, but a 16-yard gain as their running game continues to click.
Well, the Bills are playing an overshift defense with 3 down line, but you see Lodish and Seals, neither one of them were able to get off their blocks before Johnny Hector was through that hole into the secondary. Good quickness by Hector.
And Hector and McNeil, before he was injured, despite their advanced years, gave the Jets a good running attack today. And Baxter and Thomas, though banged up, have played well also. Bob Moore goes in motion. And O'Brien hands to Johnny Hector. Hector garners about 3 yards on that carry before he's tackled by Leon Seals with help from Phil Hansen. Coslett talking to Browning Nagel, the rookie quarterback, with a little, what word of wisdom, Joe, a part of the learning process. Is that it?
Oh, sure. Nagel's over there trying to pick up as much info as he can, and Coslett seems to be in a good mood because of field position and the score the way it is.
Well, he was right about one thing. Whether he wins or not, his team was not intimidated by the Buffalo Bills. O'Brien rolls, tosses complete to Blair Thomas. Short gain, only 2 or 3 yards. Shane Conlon wraps up Thomas. The 2 former Penn State stars colliding.
Shane Conlon showing some good lateral movement and speed. Boy, he was ready to lay a lick down that time, and he did get a pretty lick on the receiver. He's coming off the field now as the Bills are going into their prevent defense. Tom, what do they call this thing when they put all these other DB backs out there?
Well, they call the special 5 linebacker defense the sick'em, but for this, they just call it the dime, like every other team in the NFL. And they do come with 6 defensive backs. It's 3rd and 8. Is Johnny Hector. I said 3rd and 8. It was 3rd and 6. But even so, it will be a little short of the down marker. Now Coslett with a decision to make on 4th down. Kick the field goal. Go for the 1st down. He leads by 1.
Well, they're going to measure this. You know, Hector wasn't touched down. He fought his way forward along the ground, and they need to give him every bit of yardage that he got before he was touched down. Now watch this. You're going to see Hector trip up on the AstroTurf, or whatever you want to call this thing. Now he can keep fighting forward until that point right there. So this is going to be close.
And you can see just how close it is. Inches short. What do you do?
Well, they're going to go for the 1st down here. Costa wants to take it in. He wants to keep the ball and hopefully get a touchdown up there. The way his offensive line has been blocking, I don't blame him.
A sure field goal here would give you a 4-point lead, protect you from the Bills kicking one to win. So the Bills get all their beef up front in an attempt to stop this play. 4th and inches.
You could try to draw the Bills offside. That's one alternative. Never snap the ball because a 5-yard penalty wouldn't hurt.
Phil Hansen came charging across. Was he drawn?
False start. 69.
Yes. Criswell called for the false start. That'll set him back 5 yards. Now you got to kick it.
Mental errors. They're anxious. 69 on the right here. You see him just leaning a little bit. You cannot simulate the start of a play. Twice last week it happened to Criswell. Come on, Jeff, you got to think about things, buddy. You can't make those mental errors, and the Bills are happy to be able to get out of that situation. Now it's on Leahy's shoulder to get 3 points.
And Pat Leahy will try a 39-yard field goal, which would give the Jets a 4-point lead. 12:01 remaining in the game. His only attempt from 32. And it's good. Leahy kicks it through the uprights from 39 yards out to extend the Jets' lead to
4. Guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
Walt Smith was wrong, because when Muskrat Mike discovered gold, it got somewhat better. And when the Swedish bikini team came downstream, it got a little better. And when reinforcements of Old Milwaukee arrived, it most certainly got better. Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It just doesn't get any better than this.
On September 22nd, you'll get your first look at a new luxury sedan that was designed by a sculptor. Until then, photo opportunities will be limited. Watch NBC September 22nd.
In making an artistic statement, one's personal aroma shouldn't do the talking. So I use Right Guard Sport Stick with maximum protection. A true artiste should be known for inspiration, not perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Oil, the lifeblood of your engine. So the most vital organ is your oil filter. That's why Fram introduces Extra Guard. New glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter. New Fram Extra Guard, the best protection ever.
On September 22nd, you'll find out about an unusual car company that made dual airbags standard on its new luxury sedan. If you find that comforting, watch NBC on September 22nd.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by the new Mazda. Mazda, it just feels right. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. By Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars. And by Head & Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Could be the upset of the week. The New York Jets, more than a touchdown underdogs at home against the Buffalo Bills, leading 20-16. Aguiar to kick it off. Edwards finds a seam. There's a penalty marker down as Edwards is tripped up at the 29-yard line by Tony Stargell. And while we wait for the penalty to be sorted out, we'll remind you that this is Premiere Week on NBC. Starting at 7 Eastern Time, the adventures of Mark and Brian. Followed by Erie, Indiana, 7:30 p.m. Sort of a supernatural twist.
Blocking below the waist, number 99 on the return team.
You hear the penalty.
Half the distance.
And tonight's NBC Premiere Week, wrapping up with Sunday Night at the Movies and Problem Child, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Great night of entertainment coming your way on NBC. Jim Diopoulos, the official there, talking to Marv Levy, the head coach of the Bills, who is agitated to say the least. So this drive for the Buffalo Bills will begin from their own 15-yard line. 11:40 left in the game. New York Jets leading by 4. Kelly in trouble, sacked. Scott with the sack of Jim Kelly, the 3rd sack by the Jets today.
Mercero all over Kelly after Kelly couldn't get to a receiver over the middle of the field. The Jet linebackers took away Andre Reed. Once again, you see Kelly can't find the receiver.
From the 8 now, Kelly's pass, wide open Lofton. And Lofton has a Bill first down at the 28-yard line. The veteran James Lofton beat James Hasty, a man that he had praised yesterday when we talked to him. And that time, he takes it for 20 yards to get the Bills out of the hole. Kelly's pass falls incomplete, intended for Keith McKellar. Mo Lewis, the man that got a hand on that Kelly pass. As Jim calls his play again, he has a list of plays to choose from, and Marv Levy says Kelly's even more focused now that he calls his own plays when he's getting ready for each game, setting those tapes. Plenty of time, nobody open. Threw it away.
Excellent coverage by the Jets downfield. Jim Kelly just can't find the open receiver because there aren't any. His offensive line is giving him time, and Kelly still can't get downfield because of the coverage.
3rd and 10 for the Buffalo Bills. Pete Carroll trying to rally that defense. Thomas on a screen. Driven back after taking it close to the first down marker. It'll depend on the spot of the football here. Stopped at about the 39-yard line. And it may be close enough they'll have to measure. Marv Levy has still been raging all this series on the sideline. He's had mastery of the Jets, hasn't he? Calm and cool. Bruce Coslett. With nothing to lose, we might point out. Big underdogs in this game. They've played well.
Well, they've already proven that they can compete out there. This has been a big lift for the Jets defense.
Just barely a first down on the effort by Thurman Thomas. So the Bills drive remains alive. Clock shows 10:29. And New York leading Buffalo 20-16.
And the Jets want to do more than just compete. They want to win. They feel like they can win, and they're ready.
Thurman Thomas has 9 catches for 80 yards. Kelly wide open to McKellar. The defender fell down, and McKellar takes it all the way to the Jet 34-yard line. Mo Lewis fell down. It goes for 27 yards.
McKellar lost Lewis downfield because Lewis had fallen down in coverage.
At the Jets 35.
Good pass protection by that Bill offensive front once again.
Spotted at the 35 of the Jets. Thurman Thomas, good blocking, cuts up, and falls inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Bill Pickell and James Hasty tripping up Thurman Thomas.
Once again, we look at that last play. McKellar comes off the line right here, and the linebacker's going to stay with him and fall down, and McKellar will break out wide open into the flat. There he is. The linebacker goes down.
We have to be quick on that illustrator. Here's a blitz and a sack. It's Loggeman. Loggeman, who was shaken up earlier, gets a bump from his teammate Darrell Davis, but he was all over Jim Kelly. Big defensive play by Jeff Loggeman.
Another factor working in the Jets' defense, or in their favor, actually, for the defense, are these weather conditions. It's a cool day out there. This no-huddle offense isn't wearing down the Jets as much as it normally does.
3rd and 14. Kelly setting up a screen. Thurman Thomas with blockers. Stopped at the 30-yard line. He'll be 5 yards shy of first down territory. Hasty and Washington penetrating the blockers on the screen to make the first down saving tackle.
Once again, the Jet defense has held Marv Levy's team. Pete Carroll says, we're not going to give up the long gainer. We won't allow Kelly to throw deep. By keeping the receivers underneath us, we can hit them, maybe jar the ball loose. But let's make the Bills work for their yardage. Give them no huge gainers, and so far, it's worked.
Scott Norwood perfect today. This one 46 yards. Frank Reich, the holder. No good. Jets still lead by 4.
On September 22nd, an unusual kind of car company will bring back the glamour of the automobile. Until then, we can only entice you. Watch NBC September 22nd.
The temperature never drops below Xerex. That's very important to remember, especially at a time like this, when it's very deserted and very cold. Ah, you did remember Xerex antifreeze. The temperature never drops below Xerex.
Listen to my nephew. He's going to be a lawyer like me. He's even going to look like me.
Oh, really? So does that mean on his first big trial day, the jury's going to notice his winning smile?
Yeah.
And his great suit.
Yeah.
Oh, his little flakes.
No, dandruff? Me?
Oh, it can happen to perfect people. Here, just use my shampoo.
Head and shoulders. But you don't have dandruff.
I rest my case.
Head and Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
7 years ago, Nick Stiles put him away for life.
I got things to live for.
Now he's waiting for revenge. Denzel Washington, John Lithgow, Ice-T, Ricochet, Rated R. Starts Friday, October 4th.
This mask sculpture is famous for changing its appearance as the light changes around it. Even more remarkable is how it changed design at an unusual car company. To find out more, watch NBC September 22nd.
They were looking for a little angel. They found hell on earth.
We've adopted Satan.
John Ritter, the network premiere, Problem Child, NBC tonight.
Coslett and the Jets 20. Levy and the Bills 16. The Jets have rushed for 146 yards against the Bills, who now have allowed 444 yards rushing in 3 games. Time of possession heavily in favor of the Jets. 8.5 minutes left. They've killed that much on a couple of drives today. O'Brien, when the receiver fell down, he tried to find somebody downfield. No one was there, and then was going to lead Blair Thomas in the flat, and Thomas was tripped up. It'll go incomplete as we check all the scores now on our ITT 10-minute ticker.
Got to say that Miami-Detroit game's a surprise, huh?
Denying Don Shula his 300th career win. Cleveland continues to be a surprise, and negatively, Cincinnati as well, a surprise. 0-3, the Bengals. Atlanta's Bills lead down to 3 at San Diego. Blair Thomas bounces to the outside, then tries to cut it back and nets it only 2 or 3 yards. Seals and Hansen on the stop for the Buffalo Bills as the Jets try desperately to hang on to this 4-point lead, and they don't want to see Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills back out on the field if they can help it. Clock still shows 8:05 and counting. Third and 7 inside 8 minutes. Time of possession heavily in favor of the Jets. The prevailing wisdom on how to beat the Bills in a high-powered offense is to control the ball. The Jets have done it. Can they put the clincher on it and win? Here's a sack. Coming with the rush is Darryl Talley for the 3rd sack of the day against Ken O'Brien. And Darryl Talley, who told us yesterday he thinks he's underappreciated. He's not happy with his deal with the Bills, but he puts it out of his mind to just play football. He said he'd be rushing upfield, something new for him today.
There's Talley, 56, coming right up the middle. I can't say he's underrated anymore because he's a Pro Bowler and he's one of the most respected linebackers in the league, and man, he is eager. He loves to play this game.
Over 30 sacks career now for Talley as you look at Aguiar, who will kick it to Al Edwards. Aguiar gets a big kick away, end over end. Edwards retreats to his 30. Turns the corner. Tries to pick up a wall of blockers and just knocked out of bounds at midfield. Almost broke it. Edwards returns it 20 yards after the punt had covered 45. We'll be back. Can the Bills rally?
On September 22nd, you'll get your first look at a new luxury sedan that was designed by a sculptor. Until then, photo opportunities will be limited. Watch NBC September 22nd.
Guys, doesn't get any better than this.
Bob Pullum was wrong, because when a crate of lobsters fell from the sky, it got somewhat better. And when the Swedish bikini team dropped by, it got a little better. And when an old Milwaukee truck showed up, it most certainly got better. Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It just doesn't get any better than this.
Inside your smooth-running engine is a torture chamber. And under these grueling conditions, only one leading motor oil meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown. Castrol, the only leading motor oil that provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol. After all, why make things tougher on your engine? Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Who in the world would think of using the sun to actually cool the inside of a new luxury sedan? A company where innovative ideas flourish. Watch NBC September 22nd.
The pride and tradition of Notre Dame football is here on NBC. Next Saturday, quarterback Rick Meyer and the explosive Irish attack take on Michigan State and Heisman Trophy candidate Tico Duckett. It's Holtz versus Perlis, the Irish versus the Spartans. Notre Dame football is home on NBC.
From Giant Stadium, the Jets leading the favored Buffalo Bills 20-16, 7-11 left. Welcome to those of you who have seen the Raiders blank the Indianapolis Colts. Jim Kelly in the Buffalo offense from midfield. There's Thurman Thomas with his 11th catch of the day. Mo Lewis makes the tackle on Thomas after he gains about 6 yards.
Once again, the Jets are playing loose. They're forcing the Bills to throw the ball short. The Bills don't mind that as long as they keep moving the ball and get some points.
Tom Hammond and Joe Namath at the Meadowlands, where the Jets have controlled the football, keeping the Bills offense off the field for the most part. But they only lead by 4. Thomas surrounded. Penalty marker down as they threw Thomas for a loss of 2. But a flag on the play. Paul Fraze makes a big defensive play for the Jets. against the Bills.
Coach Levy's got to be wondering what else can go wrong here. The Jets are shuffling some fresh defensive linemen in and out. Frey's in there, Gunn in there, the young rookie. They're keeping the defensive linemen fresh.
Bruce Coslett's game plan has clicked
Holding,
so far.
number 67, offense, 10 yards, still second down.
All-Pro center Kent Hull, the Mississippi cattle farmer, being called for the hold on that play. A costly penalty against the Bills. And Buffalo, 55 yards in penalties. The Jets have weathered 104 yards in calls. Second down and 15. Kelly's flutters one, and it gets to the receiver. Good for a first down. That is James Lofton that makes the catch. That pass looked bad from the outset. It looked good in the stats as Kyle Clifton appeared to have a chance to intercept. It gets through to Lofton.
Oh, reliable. Look at James hold on to that ball. He found a dead spot in that secondary, and Kelly delivered.
Fourth catch of the day for the 35-year-old Lofton. First down, Bill. Kelly throws short. Tight end McKellar stopped for a gain of maybe a yard on the play. Well, it'll depend on where they mark his forward progress. They'll give him about a 3-yard gain. James Hasty covering McKellar. 5:40 left. Jets up 2016. Blitz. Kelly dumps it off to Wright. Wright with blockers on the screen gets it to the 30. Only a gain of about a yard and a half. Loggeman and Washington getting to the flat quickly to break up the screen pass. Jim Kelly, who's had a bad left ankle, limping a little bit as he got up there. Here's a third down play, 3rd and 6. Kelly's pass broken up, intended for Reed. James Hasty. They say he is as good as anybody in the league in man-on-man coverage. Great position on Andre Reed that time.
I tell you, I'll be shocked if the Bills don't try a field goal here. Hasty makes a good play. But folks, there's 5 minutes left on the clock. The Bills are bound to get the ball back. I don't understand why they don't go for the field goal on this play, knowing that they can get the ball back.
4th and 6 for the Buffalo Bills, and Kelly calls for a timeout. And maybe they'll have second thoughts about going for it on 4th and 6 from the Jet 30-yard line. And even 5 minutes left in the game, and New York bidding for the upset, leading the Buffalo Bills 20-16.
Reason I like the field goal here, Tom, they make the field goal. I know it's not guaranteed, but if they make the field goal, they're only 1 point down with about 5 minutes left in the game. Their defense, the Bills' defense, has been doing all right. They stopped the Jets the last time. I think the Bills are going to get the ball back, and then they'd have an opportunity to win with another field goal. If the Bills don't pick this thing up right here and the Jets run some time off the clock, the Bills are going to be forced to score a touchdown because a field goal will not win the game for the Bills, nor even tie it.
And of course, Scott Norwood missed his last field goal attempt. Perhaps that factors into the thinking. But James Hasty making a big defensive play on that 3rd down pass. Here's what Bruce Coslett said to the New York media about James Hasty facing the Buffalo Bills. He doesn't quake in his boots for anybody, and he has gone against great players today, and he has risen to the challenge for the most part. High praise from Coach Bruce Coslett for James Hasty, who also, by the way, was praised for the opposition, the Bills. Buffalo going for it, 4th and 6 from the Jet 30. Jets lead 20-16, 5 minutes left. Kelly's pass, complete, Lofton, first down, Buffalo.
That's terrific. I mean, James Lofton broke that thing to the outside. The timing by Kelly was near perfect. He went to the clutch man that time. Lofton makes the catch once again.
5 receptions, 78 yards for Lofton. That was his biggest of the day. Spot the ball at the Jet 20-yard line. Clock shows 4.5 minutes left. Bills looking for a go-ahead score. They trail by 4. Kelly complete to Thomas. just short of the 15-yard line, out of bounds by Lewis and Stargell. Thurman Thomas done most of his damage on the receiving end today. He is the NFL leader in yards rushing and receiving. That was his 12th catch for 99 yards.
Very good read by Jim Kelly that time. A blitzer came unblocked, and Kelly quickly dumped the ball off to Thomas for the gain. Let's take a look. You'll see the outside blitzer from Kelly's right coming clean, and Kelly will get rid of that ball just before the blitzer gets to him from the right side, right there. Good read by Jim Kelly.
Meanwhile, Scott Mercereau shaken up, giving Kelly a chance to come to the sideline. There's Mercereau, that distinctive mohawk haircut. And Mercereau being tended to on the field. Let's go to Bob Costas for an update.
Tom, the Broncos at one time had a 16-0 lead at home against Seattle. Seahawks have come back, first a field goal, then Derek Fenner caps a drive, vaulting over from the 1. Got about 3 minutes to go at Mile High, and the Seahawks are within 6 at 16-10. Tom?
All right, Bob, here at Giant Stadium, 4:18 left, and the Jets clinging to that 2016 lead, and the pressure on defensive coordinator Pete Carroll, celebrating, we hope, or he hopes, we don't hope, but he hopes, his 40th birthday today. He'll celebrate it no matter what, but it could be a lot happier if his defense can hold off the Bills. Kelly has a 2nd and 5. Got 3 wides to the left. Kelly across the middle. Thomas for the touchdown.
You can keep this Bill offense quiet a little bit, I guess, but not for this whole game. I mean, Coach Levy had confidence in his offense getting that touchdown. That's why they turned down the field goal attempt. And sure enough, Kelly finds Thomas in the end zone for the 6.
What a weapon is Thurman Thomas, and Jim Kelly using him to good advantage today. Thomas has over 100 yards in receiving today and has caught 13 passes. Here's Scott Norwood for the point after. And Norwood is true with the point after touchdown, and the Buffalo Bills have taken a 3-point lead on the New York Jets thanks to a touchdown reception by the incomparable Thurman Thomas.
Well, here's the way it looks, folks. Thomas, who was lined up basically on the line of scrimmage here, just runs down here and finds an open spot. You see all the receivers up on the line of scrimmage. Now watch Thomas break right in the middle of the field. There's no one on him. There's a big hole, and Thomas makes the catch. Once again, good pass protection by Kelly right down the middle of the field in a huge hole. Thomas gets up in the air, twists around, and holds on to that rock.
Well, the Bills just have so many weapons. Buffalo covering 49 yards in 8 plays. Thurman Thomas with his 13th reception. A touchdown catch. Best in the business, receiving and running overall, and Jim Kelly, hottest quarterback in the National Football League, perhaps pulling out a victory coming from behind against the Jets today. There are the numbers on that scoring drive. It only took 2:57 to cover the 49 yards. Aloysius kickoff to the goal line, and Mathis. Terrence Mathis corralled and run out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. And the Bills' kickoff coverage, which had been poor the last couple of games, comes to the fore in this situation, and the Jets are 90 yards away with just 4:02 remaining.
Well, you know, if you're an offensive player, you don't mind this situation. You know what you have ahead of you. You've got to go ahead and get on the board. You're going to have 4 downs, basically, to get it done, unless the Jets use virtually no time at all. Coughlin and O'Brien, I believe, will go to the 4-down offense, knowing that they need to get the points on the board.
For the Jets, this game has ominous similarities to a game they lost at Rich Stadium. Dominating the game, running on the Bills at will, and then losing in the latter stages. Johnny Hector, pretty determined run, but it only gets him a couple of yards. Carlton Bailey and James Williams finally getting Hector down. They'll mark it a gain of 3. Raiders blanking the Colts, who are winless. As Bob Costas told us, the Broncos lead now only 6. And Atlanta goes into San Diego and beats the Chargers. Maybe Dan Henning and Ron Meyer, 2 of the coaches in trouble after today's results. Here, the Buffalo Bills have come from behind to take a 3-point lead. Time running out on the Jets. Bob Moore stops, sets to the left. Play goes to the right. Blair Thomas cuts it back, darts forward, may have the first down. He's almost to the 25-yard line. 3 minutes remaining now. And there is an injured Buffalo Bill player as the clock stops. 2:59 left. Well, those of you tuning in for NBC's Premier Week lineup, it'll be coming your way right after football. Premier Week on NBC, starting with the adventures of Mark and Brian at the conclusion of the football game, followed by Erie, Indiana, Man of the People with James Garner, Pacific Station, and the movie Problem Child. Premier lineup coming your way on NBC tonight, starting at the conclusion of the game.
I tell you, I'm going to check out that Problem Child, too. I got Jessica at home, who's 5 years old, and she's far from a problem, folks, but we may be able to learn something from this program.
Well, we've gotten the injured player yet, still trying to identify the injured Buffalo Bill. I think it's the rookie defensive end, Phil Hansen. It is Hansen, number 90.
Boy, the leg injuries that we've seen just in this game alone, it seems like 4 or 5 of them we've had players on the field because of leg injuries.
All right, let's check in for other NFL action now and go to Bob Costas for an update. Bob?
In San Diego, Tom, the Atlanta Falcons end their 19-game road losing streak. As the game comes to a close, John Carney of the Chargers could have tied it. He misses from 47. He missed 3 field goals on the day, although all of them were 45 yards or better. So Atlanta is 1-2, and San Diego is 0-3, losing on their home field to the Falcons, 13-10.
All right, Bob, here at the Giants Stadium, 2:59 remaining. Buffalo has taken a 3-point lead on the Jets. Tony Stargell, number 45, saw the Bills drive down and score the go-ahead touchdown a moment ago, and now Coslet's offense still with a chance to win or tie, but a long ways away. Look at the difference in clinching points, fourth quarter points. Buffalo 42, the Jets 19. And of course, last year at Rich Stadium, the Bills pulled out one against the Jets. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League and intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the New York Jets and the National Football League is prohibited. This game the property of the National Football League, New York Jets and Buffalo Bills, all rights reserved. Hansen walking gingerly to the sidelines. That means Mark Pike will come in now on the defensive line for the Buffalo Bills. 6'4", 272 in his 5th year out of Georgia Tech. 7th round draft choice back in '86. There's Mark Pike.
Well, the Bills know what they need to do, Tom. They need to stop the Jets from getting in the scoring position. The Jets have 2:59 left on the clock. Plenty of time to get in position if they just keep their cool and work their offense.
First down at the 25 for the Jets. They have 3 timeouts left. O'Brien with a blitz. They pick it up, and he delivers it complete. Al Toon gets about 5 yards. He went to one knee to make the reception as O'Brien dodged Leonard Smith, who was coming on a blitz. J.D. Williams finally made the tackle. And another injured player, it's Al Toon. This could be a big blow to the New York offense here for the final 2 minutes plus.
Bob Reese, the Jets trainer, trying to find out what's wrong with Toon. It appears to be up in the chest area. Here's the end of the play. Let's see if we can see what happened here. unless he fell right on the football in that area around the armpit or chest area. Let's take a look. Watch how Toon falls. He seems to have injured his chest, and he falls right on that ball. That's the only two things that I ever disliked about pro football, really, were losing and getting hurt. I mean, that's awful.
The only two?
Yeah, that's the only two that really were a drag. Here's another one. Hansen with the leg injury.
Hansen will be taken to the locker room, and Al Toon on his feet. He's caught 8 passes for 90 yards today, or 99 yards. Kozla says, what happened? We need you. 2nd and 4 for the Jets from their own 31. You see the clock remaining. Buffalo with a 3-point lead. O'Brien dumps it off short to Blair Thomas. Thomas all the way to the 44-yard line and a Jet first down. Cornelius Bennett caught up to him. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning here at Giant Stadium. We've got a timeout for the 2-minute warning as the Jets try to catch the Bills.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes, 1986. The Jets send the game into overtime with a touchdown on the final play of regulation.
Touchdown! There is no time remaining!
As soon as we won the coin toss, I knew we were going to score. Everything was going our way at that point.
O'Brien's back to throw. O'Brien throwing long down the sideline for Walker. And he's got it! Touchdown! The Jets are going berserk. They're bombing Wesley Walker in the end zone.
One of the problems of living in the land of plenty is that there's plenty left over that must be burned or buried or dumped at sea. An exception is the recyclable aluminum can. Today, over half the aluminum cans produced are being recycled. No other beverage container comes close to that record. Not glass, not plastic, and not steel. The recyclable aluminum can. In the land of plenty, it's a notable exception.
On September 22nd, an unusual kind of car company will bring back the glamour of the automobile. Until then, we can only entice you. Watch NBC September 22nd. On September 22nd, you'll find out about a car company that made its new sports coupe as exciting to listen to as it is to drive. Watch NBC September 22nd.
The Steelers. The Eagles. Mac is back. Next Sunday.
Buffalo leading the Jets by 3 with 2 minutes left. Joe Pat Leahy's longest career field goal, 55 yards. Knowing that, what do the Jets do as far as play calling here, all their timeouts remaining?
Well, O'Brien will be patient. He'll try to hit some underneath stuff. He has plenty of time, plus his 3 timeouts left out there. So O'Brien's going to try to pick that Bills defense. The Bills, on the other hand, are going to try and come up with a blitz. The Bills should try to put pressure on Kelly with some kind of a blitz.
First down play for the Jets. It's a play-action pass. O'Brien, Moore can't get it. Diving attempt. O'Brien went down in the teeth of the rush. Cornelius Bennett on top of him.
The best pass defense there is pressure on the quarterback. And you watch, you see Cornelius Bennett getting in here because Moore is wide open. And because Cornelius Bennett put that pressure on O'Brien, he misfired.
Bennett has been a force defensively in the second half for Buffalo, their most consistent defensive performer, and single-handedly has held the Jets at bay on a couple of drives. 1:55 left. O'Brien, ooh, what a hit. Mathis caught it and was dropped by Kirby Jackson.
Now we got to remember here, Tom, this is a 4-down zone. It's 3rd down and about 3. The Jets have 2 downs to pick this first down up. So that could influence Bruce Koslich's play calling here. They don't need to throw right now. They might try and stick a run in there.
They've gotten Wisenhunt in for 2 tight ends, Dressel and Wisenhunt. incomplete, intended for Wisenhunt. There's a flag down. Offside against the Bills will give the Jets a first down.
Amazing. We saw it happen last week up at Buffalo with the Pittsburgh Steelers jumping offsides in critical third down situations.
Offside, number 31, defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards.
Can you believe that? He lined up in the wrong place. Lined up in the wrong place. James Williams, the cornerback, just didn't pay attention where he was lining up that time and was in the neutral zone from the get-go.
First down, Jets. The ball spotted at the 44-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. 1:14 left. Buffalo leading New York 23-20. And to Hector. Caught from behind as he takes it to the 40-yard line. 4-yard gain by Johnny Hector. Leonard Smith on the tackle. And now the Jets call for a timeout. Stopping the clock at 1:05 is Pat Leahy, oldest player in the NFL, perhaps hoping for a chance to tie it. Timeout. Bills by 3.
This fall, the ratings war heats up for two of television's most seasoned veterans, and they've got the battle scars to prove it.
1979, tripped over a camera cable, 4 stitches.
Oh, well, 1982, tripped over a sleeping teamster, 5 stitches.
Feel this, 1977, bumped into a boom mic, sucker hasn't gone down yet.
1977, actress bit me.
You have her number?
Oh, yeah.
James Garner and Man of the People, Robert Guillaume and Pacific Station, tonight on NBC.
Tom Hammond and Joe Namath, Giant Stadium, Buffalo 23, the Jets 20, 1:05 left. Jets with 2 timeouts remaining, and Marv Levy has seen his defense victimized at time today. Hope they can make one last stand here. Pat Leahy's career-long field goal, 55 yards, so the Jets still need to get a little closer. 2 timeouts remaining. Here's Leahy.
Believe me, he'd rather kick an extra point than he would a field goal.
Moore, Mathis, Toon, and Burkett, 4 wide receivers, 2 to either side. Short drop and a draw play. Hand to Hector. Hector's got a first down. He is to the 33-yard line of the Bills.
That is a smart play right there, not just because it worked. I mean smart in the way the play's designed. O'Brien would get all the way back in position and hand the ball forward. Very deceptive draw play.
Bills have 8 players up at the line of scrimmage. O'Brien's going for the end zone. Nobody even close. Mix-up in that call as Moore broke his pattern short. O'Brien threw it long. Stops the clock at 35 seconds.
Well, James Williams did a fine job on Moore over there that time. Williams, the cornerback, had Moore one-on-one, and he just stopped Moore from going deep. He kind of confused Moore and O'Brien. There's James. Good coverage that time.
The ball is at the 33-yard line. It would still be about a 50-yard field goal. 2nd and 10 for Coslet's Jets. 35 seconds left. The Jets still have 2 timeouts. 21-34 on the day. Again, 4 wide. Out of bounds, incomplete, intended for Rob Moore. They say he was out of bounds. No catch.
Okay, the fans wanted an interference call that time. Williams seemed to be making contact before the ball gets there. Let's take a look. Oh, my goodness. He got away with one that time because I tell you, this is a worse bump than the one they called on Stargell. I mean, he's all over him. That's a mugging. But I tell you what, the Bills got away with one that time, folks.
Oh, J.D. Williams can thank his lucky stars on that one. He should have been whistled for pass interference. Instead, it's 3rd and 10 for the Jets. Yardage. He'll lose 2, and now Leahy is faced with about a 52 or 53-yard field goal attempt. Bad play by the Jets.
Well, that's the one thing Bruce Coslet did not want to have happen for Pat Leahy. That moves him back farther and makes it about a 52-yard field goal attempt. 39, 49, and another 7. It's good. Hey, this is going to be a long try. 5
5 of 22 50 yards or more for Pat Leahy. At 40 years old, the oldest player in the National Football League. For 18 years, he's been kicking.
Going to be about a 51-yard attempt, Tom.
51 yards, Pat Leahy to tie. 23 seconds left. Aguiar, the punter, holds for Leahy. 51 yards to tie. And well short and offline. Coslet's game plan worked, but Levy's Bills will come away with a victory. Coming up at the conclusion of the game, don't forget NBC's premier primetime lineup, starting with the adventures of Mark and Brian, Erie, Indiana, Man of the People, Pacific Station, and the Sunday movie Problem Child on its network premiere. All coming up at the conclusion of the game. 16 seconds left, and the Bills will win the game, Joe, with only 19 minutes of possession time.
Well, Coach Levy's team didn't play their absolute best, no doubt, but I promise you, Coach Levy's a happy man. His team will come out with the win. The Jets, they played a fine game. They have nothing to feel bad about except coming up on the short end of the scoreboard.
And that will kill the clock as the Buffalo Bills come from behind to take the victory against the New York Jets. Here is the play of the game. Leahy missed what could have been a tying field goal from 51 yards. And now our Canon camcorder play of the game.
Thurman Thomas wide open. I'm surprised. As much as he does for this Bill offense, you'd think that the Jets would have someone pinned to Thomas. But he's wide open for the touchdown.
Tom Hammond for Joe Namath. So long. This has been the NFL on NBC.
Promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
Patio furniture. Gary's got it. Gas grills. Gary's got it. Swimming pools. Gary's got it. Hot tubs. Gary's got it.
The largest selection of spas. Gary's got it. Top names like Jacuzzi Whirlpool and Continental Spas, starting from $1,488. Always the lowest price.
Gary's got it.
Why does Marine Midland work so well for so many? You can talk to us. Talk savings with Lynn Welsh. Her interest is help hundreds earn more interest. Education, see Linda Gilbert. She's put 1,300 kids through college, including 2 of her own. It's not just billions in assets or hundreds of branches that make us what we are. Marine people do it so well because they do it so much. So let's work it out together. See Bill Ryan. He spent the last 5 years thinking retirement for folks like these.
Video Factory presents Matt Dreadlock.
Matt, where have you been?
Did you know my Video Factory card is good at all locations? So I decided to check them all out. Erie, Cheektowaga, Jamestown, you name it. And the selection, incredible.
Do you mean to tell me that while I've been sitting here worrying about you, you've been hopping from Video Factory to Video Factory? What about me?
Don't worry, Dal. Your card's good at all locations, too.
There's a Video Factory near you.
Join Ed and the boys on Sports Extra, Sundays at 11:30, only on Channel 2.
In style, just forget about life for a while. See the world through our eyes. Under picture perfect skies. It just makes me wanna, hey, let's get away from your mind just once in a while. I wanna, hey, just come away with a smile.
The Adventures of Mark and Brian will be right back.
Ready, Christy?
Just when you thought you'd taken your lashes as far as you could go,
Wow.
CoverGirl takes you farther. Introducing new Extension Mascara. The Lash Extender brush and advanced formula extend your lashes long, longer, beyond the limits, and keep them going long all day.
A little further. Well, I can't go any further.
New Extension Mascara. Now lashes that go on long, stay on long.
Bye, Christy.
So long.
CoverGirl, redefining beautiful.
Baby blue Cadillac, baby grand in the back, baby I'm going to the fair. Just a 59-cent selection, even free ice, cold Pepsi refill. I never stop a rockin', I never stop a stockin', stopping down the Taco Bell. Tigers and the starters and margaritas and more. It's 59 cents, oh yeah. Going for the fun, I gotta get me some. Take a shortcut if you know one, hon. Little Richard, he's making a fun run.
NBC Premiere Week starts tonight with the return of two of TV's greatest. And if you think that's big news, then get a load of this. The critics are calling James Garner and Robert Guillaume spectacularly funny. Got it? Spectacularly funny.
Who can argue with that?
See what the critics are cheering about tonight, starting at 8, 7 Central on NBC.
Monday, it's NBC Premiere Week. On an all-new Fresh Prince, the family takes on Bel Air Bullies.
Get ready to rumble!
Plus, a Fresh Prince bonus, the premiere of his new video. Then it's a big decision for Blossom.
I'm thinking of going to second base.
Blossom season premiere after Fresh Prince, NBC Monday.
We now return to the Adventures of Mark and Brian.
Good morning. Mark and Brian program, 10 minutes after 6 o'clock, and yet another camera crew here to help us enjoy the radio show. Hi, cameraman Bob. How you doing in there? And here's Bill. Don't forget Bill. He's right over here. Hey, good to see you. All right, this week's quest, kind of a big